We are live. I hope I'm all audible.
You
I
hear that as well?
what? Did
It
I?
was just that like when you
Eh,
said you were live and cut out. So
Oh,
Well, you
we.
kind of slowed down the countdown, like you got really annoyed with guys coughing before
Oh
being
yeah, yeah.
live,
Because
and
it,
it's
it
like, well,
it
that's not
just
an issue. That's the right time to fucking cough.
yeah, yeah. But anyway. It's what was it? Before I clicked the live button, it just what's the word? Disrupted my rhythm. So then I just stopped to let it
Fear
finish and then
nothing, mate.
carry on.
Lol.
So here we are. We are live with another WAS podcast. We're on Monday
Hmm.
this time because someone has to do some traveling. So we couldn't do it
Everyone's
Yes,
got
on
to travel.
Wednesday. Do
I'm gonna be
enlighten
away
us,
from
Mr.
Wednesday to
Traveler.
Wednesday. I'm
He's
going to
trying to.
Toronto. Yeah, well, now you're interrupting me too. I won't say it. I think I won't be able to. Clearly.
Carry on.
Yeah, no, I am going to Toronto for what is a Mirai United VRT and Friends meetup. I will be meeting Frankie there, and we will meet people like DD50, Jordan Brunch, Lithium Fox, Sheep Mum Soul, Array Strack, and others. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna go to Anime North, a convention in Toronto. So that should be fun. And we're doing an Indy 500 watch along, like as a group in person, which might be a disaster audio wise, but oh well. On Sunday, so that'll be on Frankie's channel. So that'll be fun.
Oh, I thought you were going for a racing event. I didn't know it was an anime convention.
Now,
Yes.
annoyingly, despite the fact that Toronto is a city that hosts a street race, an IndyCar street race, and the fact that the weekend I'm going is the weekend of the Indy 500 and NASCAR Coke 600, despite those things, I am not going to North America and Toronto specifically for racing.
That's very strange.
I
Well,
know.
I've been telling people
It's
that
coming.
you're going for racing, so I got that completely
That is
wrong.
unfortunate. Yeah, I thought we talked about the fact that we were
I
going to
think
an
we
anime con
have,
because we
but
are talking
I've
about the size of it compared to MCM.
I had
I
almost forgotten
thought,
already.
yeah, I think we have talked about it at some point, but it's just like I forgot the whole anime thing because usually you
That's your
for,
whole thing, though.
you forget about anime. Mostly you.
yeah, I mean,
I do,
yeah,
yeah.
like if I was just going for the con, I wouldn't go. But you know, we're going to meet up with people. It'll be a fun thing to do with people. We're doing other things as well. We're going to go to Niagara Falls, and you know that we're
Nice.
skipping a con day. Well, not all of us, but some of us are skipping a con day to do the racing watch along, right? Because Sunday is the biggest weekend in motorsport, right? You got them. We're gonna get up early for the Monaco Grand Prix. That's gonna be like I don't know 8
Oh,
a.m.
that'd
or
be cool.
something. 7 a.m. We're gonna watch that. Gonna then watch Indy 500, which is like midday local time, I think midday 45 maybe, and that's like the big one. We're gonna do the watch along, and then later on in the afternoon into the evening is the Coke 600, so we're gonna watch that. Yeah, Riley, Jordan's trying to get us to wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m. for BTCC at Snetterton. I'm not
Oh,
confident it'll happen. I'm not confident Jordan himself would get up for such a thing, even if like I did.
that's hella
uh,
early.
I know, it's not happening. Because even the Monaco Grand Prix, I think it must be like 7 a.m. I think, maybe 8. But yeah, it's pretty early. So, but that I want to watch because you know Monaco. I want to see Lewis Hamilton win the Monaco Grand Prix for Ferrari. It's going to be
No,
an
we don't want
amazing
to see that.
moment.
We don't want to see that.
Oh no, Jordan's here. You'll have to wake me up, Jordan. If assuming you wake up, which after we get, you know, surely incredibly drunk on Saturday night, right?
Woo.
No, I'm kidding. Surely you won't be up on Sunday morning that early. We'll see though. But yeah, so early
Madness.
podcast as a result of that, and that means the WAS stream next week will also not be on Wednesday because I arrive back home in the
Ooh.
small hours of Thursday morning. So I believe our tentative plan is a Thursday evening stream. I think that's what we're planning, but
Yeah, at the moment, I think so, yeah. We'll see how it
we'll
goes. See
find out.
how it goes, how you feel afterwards, I guess.
I'll be all right. I like worst case scenario. I sleep during the day, and then like I
True,
probably will
true.
anyway. If I am tired enough that I will sleep, I will wake up by stream time. So I think it's fine.
Sweet.
But we'll
And
see.
party all
We'll
night,
figure that
yeah.
out. Party
Nice.
in the USA. I'm going to Canada. What are you on
Put my
about?
hands up the
Well,
play.
the way it's going, it might become the
Oh.
USA.
Oh God.
I had to put that one in.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh
dearie
dear.
me. Who would have thought? Anyway, what's on
So,
the
shall we
agenda?
go into our topics?
Yes,
Hobbies?
while I
Topics?
tweet out that
Well,
we're live
shall
because
we?
I'm
I
slow.
mean, really, we should probably cover the biggest topic first.
Robert
So the
Schwartzman?
biggest event. Yeah, no, no, not that. No, definitely not.
I mean,
No,
that would
I mean,
actually be a good segue, but
yes, but yeah, but we'll leave that. We won't even mention it now because you've mentioned it. But no, I think the best thing though is what obviously what's happened recently. The WAS, 4 years of WAS, mate. This is very important.
Excuse
that
me.
is
It's
true.
what it's the bread and butter. It's what has happened. Look how great we are now because of WAS. It's all down to it.
uh, no, it has been a very enjoyable 4 years. It doesn't feel like it's been 4 years.
And it's now over.
Um, oh, we
Yes,
announced
this
our
is the end.
graduation. Was that this stream? I forgot.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Oops. Oh
No,
no, Anaro's going. So
I,
see you later.
in the words of Leonardo da Vinci, I'm not fucking leaving.
I mean, I don't know what that's from.
Wait, you actually
Don't
don't know
know.
what I thought you'd know what I'm okay. It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's the end of Wolf of Wall Street, isn't it? Which I haven't seen.
I don't even remember.
Oh, I've seen that.
I've seen it.
I presume the context is that he's leaving, and they don't want him to leave.
Well, it sounds like it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then he's like, "I'm not fucking leaving" when he's doing the leaving press conference, and then everyone's like cheering, and it's a bit of a meme like scene. I reference it a lot when I am not leaving. Uh,
Well, you're right then, I guess. Like you're not. So.
4 years Boba, says Riley. That is stretching the top 10 Boba thing
Oh
very
wow.
much to try and do that. Who's gonna replace Ada? I hear Jack Doohan is looking for a seat. That's a ex Formula One driver now, I suppose.
What's Formula One?
I'm not sure. It might
No.
be mid, whatever it is. Uh,
Yeah, I'd imagine it probably is,
but yeah.
but yeah.
Do you have thoughts on the 4 years of continuing WAS activities?
Who?
Either of you? Either?
I hate
Both?
I hate WAS, so I don't want to. I mean, what? No, I think I think we've had quite good. I think that generally the time has been pretty good. Like we've had some weird streams. Like, I mean, do you remember like obviously like the few times that were like where we had these weird games that we play that just were like one-off wonders basically like Zombie Army 4. Like I feel like there's just so many things that we did back in the past that were like
Yeah.
I guess they
Yeah.
seem weird now, like
I mean,
when
let's actually just. I'm gonna sort by oldest on the old WAS, what is now
oh
called the
god,
WAS VODs channel. I'm gonna sort by oldest, right? Our first non-debut stream was Minecraft Dungeons.
yeah, that's weird.
And that's
That's just
weird.
weird.
We streamed that 3 times.
Yeah, I can't
um,
believe that.
I know.
So much
Um,
dedication.
there's a few classics we don't play anymore. I mean, I know some people here would like to play Phasmophobia, but it's the only game that
No, I won't
I'm just.
anymore because the progression thing, they broke it and it's all kaput. It's just
Well, see, I'm
crap.
glad you agree that that they've ruined that game.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
it
think they
is a
have.
shame.
Mm,
But
they've
then
totally
Knockout City
ruined
as
it.
well, which I'm sure we all would play Knockout City. That was such a regular
Yeah,
game for us, and many of our viewers now maybe don't even know that game. I don't know, but Knockout
no,
City was like
Was my
our
go-to
bread and
game.
butter. I know, right? Like if we had no idea what to stream, it's just fuck it, Knockout City. Like
I
yeah,
it
was
it's
the
was.
good
god
fun.
catcher
Good
in
fun.
that game. The only thing I was good at was
I mean, you guys
catching.
were always in
Don't.
like a private Discord channel to plot against
I
me.
was gonna
And I would
say, yeah,
say,
it was.
what was it I used to say a lot? Like really deadpan, way and something else. Nice,
It's
nice.
okay
That
as
was
Nice,
well,
it.
isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh,
Isn't it? Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
no, yeah,
nice.
nice,
Okay,
nice,
way.
okay, nice, okay, wait.
I got way. Way is meant to be like way, but I'm like
It
way.
was just wait, nice. It was just so like, yeah, it just had nothing to it. It was so just like you were reading it off of. It wasn't even like any. It's just so stupid. But I
uh,
would love to play again though, because I don't know. Out of all of us, I was never sure. It's one of the only games we've probably ever played that our skill level was so similar. like we would all of us, like all four of us at one point were just completely like you could put us in a free for all, you wouldn't even know who was going to win. It was
Yeah,
just completely
genuinely.
like we could play a lot of other things like Call of Duty or something, where there's a few that you think, well, they're better than the others or whatever. But like that's what was so good about Knockout City was the fact that it was very much like what you could have an open game. You're like, well, actually, if I was betting on this, I'd be like, no idea. Like it could go any way. Like I said, Arrow was very good at doing like well practice catching and stuff, but then for him in the back, he's screwed. But like yeah, it was just it was a time to be alive, man. And then they did sort of ruin that before it went. They ruined. I feel like they ruined Knockout City as well because they
Well, remember it
did
changed
too
ownership,
much.
didn't it? Like I think
Yeah,
a
that
couple of
They
ruined it as
times.
changed
well, of
ownership
course.
so they can try and make their own version of the game. That's why it got shut down. Was it
Yeah,
Is it EA that bought it or somewhere along
no,
the lines?
No, it was Epic, wasn't it?
it
Or was it
started
Epic?
as EA. What is it called? EA Indie or whatever they called
It
it.
was an indie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was an indie thing first. Then it got
Well, it
bought
was
out.
no, it was EA published by EA, but under their like indie
yeah. It
branch sort of
wasn't.
thing. I
It
forget what
wasn't
the
like
EA
a proper.
Originals or something. It was
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but then it became indie, and then it became Epic, and that was really the beginning of the
Yeah, I
end, if
think
it wasn't
Epic
already.
was trying to make their own version of it, so that's why they're trying to get rid of it. But I
That's
think I have
interesting.
to
Yeah.
find a clip of it, but there is a clip of me. I was with a friend and they went AFK and all the team was trying to go after them because they knew they're AFK and I like stood there just protecting them, catching the ball, throwing it back at them. I defended them off of like the whole other team for a while before they came back and then I died. But yeah, like that game was just so good.
It did have good. There was some good times. I feel like it's not just that from the sort of 4 years. That was quite a big point. We had quite a lot of obviously streams for Knockout City. We did, and I think we did play it generally just like for fun, like not even streaming it. It was just like
Oh
when
yeah.
us lot all got together, it's like, oh, let's just play some Knockout City. I had my motive of I was simply trying to get the platinum trophy, which I never will get. But it is it was a good time. But I'm trying to think like top of my head though, like, do we really have anything else that was as prominent as like Knockout City? Like we played like
Well,
or had a big impact?
we
I mean,
played knockouts.
GTA was an
Yeah,
obvious one.
GTA
But
was.
even then, that's
Yeah,
more recent, really.
yeah, but
Like
GTA
the
has
first
always been part of
Yeah,
GTA.
WAS.
Well, yeah, but like what I'm trying to say is like there were loads of Apex streams before even the first GTA
Oh
true.
yeah,
stream, and
X
we don't
Apex.
really play Apex anymore.
Well, I
I
will.
I
Um,
can't I can't stand Apex.
What is wrong with you?
I Well, Ruska's not allowed. Ruska said he didn't want to play Faz. Fair enough, but I'm not playing Apex. So it's just not. It's the worst of battle royale games. I'd rather play Warzone, although Warzone last time was terrible. But like, I'd
yeah.
rather play Warzone. Like, it's just still, and I'd rather play the other ones I can't even remember. I mean, like, even Fortnite. I'd rather play Fortnite. Like, generally, I'd rather play Fortnite. It's
Fortnite
just,
is kind of actually the most fun one. I'm
yeah, it
not even
is. Yeah,
lying. It
You
it
you
is.
very fun.
Without the building sucks
Yeah,
ass.
yeah, yeah.
I hate
I
the
never even
building.
played it with building because it's just
No,
like
I
I
never
don't
played
even
it with
know.
building. I downloaded it to play
I
with
think I
you
did.
guys, and I thought I'll give it a chance. Loved it for that stream, and then I ended up playing it off stream just randomly. Then you guys would never join me again, and that was it. I got rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be up for playing it again.
Yeah, I would.
I've,
I'd play Fortnite.
I've had it installed like all this time.
That's
So
where I
I played it
stuck
with
the
Mariah a couple
grenade
of times.
to Resca's butt clip came
Oh
from.
yeah, you have a few clips from that.
His butt clip.
His butt
But
clip.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think though, yeah, like that, and I mean Dead by Daylight. Of course, we play quite a lot of as well, like that. I do miss Dead by Daylight days. I miss the it's just there's something good about it. I do really enjoy Dead by Daylight. I know Adaro doesn't really like it that much, but it was just I don't know. It's a good sort of horror game that isn't like horror in a way, but is also quite like gets the adrenaline pumping and everything. And it's like for a stream, I always thought it was quite good. We have some quite good games, like close ones. It's a bit of a shame we never play anymore because
Well,
I'd
it's
love
one
to
of those
play again.
ones I wouldn't mind trying it again, but
Yeah,
also like maybe it's because we don't play it enough. But when we do,
maybe.
we just get like destroyed. Like
But
I swear,
they've added
last time or two we played it was just like awful. Like
yeah, we did get
Warzone,
it,
but
yeah.
again, we don't play
Yeah.
Warzone either. Like it's one of those things we probably need to actually play like regularly to
Exactly.
get good.
But
But
then
yeah,
it's like, yeah, time. You know, we can't do that. We don't have time to get good. But it's like, yeah, what I like about Dead by Daylight is, you know, they got like, I mean, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I swear I saw John Wick, aka Keanu Reeves, is now playable in it, or is going to be, which is weird. It's very strange. Like, why would Keanu Reeves be, you know?
I don't know. You tell me. Has he been in any horror stuff?
Well, John Wick's not really horror.
No.
I would say it's like
yeah.
action.
John Wick is a character, not actor. Just to
Yeah,
clarify.
yeah. Keanu Reeves plays John Wick.
Yeah, that's what I got confused by. I know it was him.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Ken Kaneki is in Dead by Daylight, and he's
Isn't
from
What's
a
a
that?
K-pop guy in
yeah.
Dead by
There's
Yeah,
Daylight?
we've been
also
against
there's also a
that guy.
K-pop guy in Dead by Daylight, but Ken Kaneki was added recently, and he's from Tokyo
I know.
Ghoul,
I know who
which
What's
Ken
Tokyo
Kanek
Ghoul?
is. Yeah.
which is another horror show.
Oh, yeah, I did see that actually as well, but
He
I'm not,
looks
you
awesome.
know. Well, yeah, but you hate Dead by Daylight, so you wouldn't
Yeah, I
be able to
was
see him,
sad,
I'm
but
afraid.
to be fair, you have to play the murderer to get in.
Like, it's like, yeah, I was sad, like he can't play it. Like, yeah, I wish I could play the game I have.
But I'm gonna play Repo for the first time on Thursday, which is going to be great. I'll
Are you
tell
gonna
you guys
stream?
all
Will
about
it?
it. Well, I don't know. It's an off-stream collab, but
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna ask them very nicely if it's okay if I can stream my end.
And they're just gonna
Well,
go,
no.
no.
Hey, if it's an off-stream collab, I think it's meant to be off-stream. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's a reason.
I'll ask anyway. There's no harm in asking.
And they say, no, now we don't want you to join us, and then that's the harm in it.
Yes, I've ruined that friendship. Nah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they may do that.
I never got a chance to play it before because obviously Guy can't play it because of his computer problem. Reska, obviously I was waiting for him.
Can't play it because of his
well,
problem,
I could play it,
so
but well,
Can't
Guy
can't
is kind of
can't
no point.
he can't play because of
he
his
can't play other
because of
games.
his
Yeah.
racing problem. Uh,
Mm.
and then yeah, I just never found people to play it. Now I have, so now I can play it on yeah. So Thursday I guess I can let you guys know what it's like on the next podcast, on my opinion.
But yeah, well, and we play Faz in the meantime, so yeah.
Ew, what you doing? Playing Faz for. Anyway.
Well, it's Rescue's favorite game.
We'll play Phasma Daylight.
Asmodeus, Famadeus.
Oh
Yeah.
god, Dr.
Oh,
Zeus,
Dr.
Dr. Zeus.
Seuss.
Oh.
Dr. Zeus.
It's one of those things where I think of The Simpsons more than the real thing. Uh,
Oh, it was The
I don't even think of
Simpsons.
the real thing at all.
I was trying
I
to
only
figure
think
out
of the
where it was
Simpsons.
from as I was singing
You
it.
don't know what's from?
Well, obviously I know it's The Simpsons, but I for a
You
minute
don't know
there,
it's Dr.
yeah, but
Seuss, Dr. Seuss.
the Simpsons thing is a reference to the film in question, right? Do you not remember the scene at all, or just that line?
I just remember the song.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
but
don't even
the
remember what it's
song.
from.
Yeah, you're talking about. Wait, Guy, you're talking about the real song or the real movie that they're parodying
Oh,
The
No,
it's
Simpsons?
I'm talking about what
the
it's
ape
from in The
the
Simpsons.
ape one, Planet of the Apes.
Yes, yeah, but then the
Yes.
song isn't. But yeah.
No, but it's them
Yeah,
referencing Planet of the Apes.
yeah, because it's a Planet of the Apes musical or something, isn't it?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and it's got Troy
Mm.
McClure, who
Mm.
you may know
Yes.
from.
He's in everything, like somehow.
But like, every time they introduce him, the writers have to invent like two new things that he was in to say that he was in for that one scene.
Exactly, yeah. No,
On
all
top
the
of whatever they're actually putting him in that episode.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, I remember when was rewatching Simpsons, and like, I always pay attention to I mean, I can't remember now, but what he was in, like, what he would say, and they just get more and more ridiculous to the point where, like, it is I think some of them, he just is just like, oh, I was, you might remember me from, and then just one like word, just one word, it was just like just like the or something. It was just something ridiculous. Is it just I ran out of ideas or thought, it's probably funnier to make it even more
Yeah,
ridiculous,
yeah.
but I do
Especially
miss
because
Old
people probably
Simpsons.
skim over that bit a bit, right? Like when they do
Yeah,
that.
because you just know what he's gonna say, so you just ignore it, don't you?
Yeah.
But I do miss it. I do like generally watching like seasons. I think I got up to 15 before I stopped, maybe higher up. but they're actually like so good in comparison to what they are now. Where they're terrible now. It is a real shame. Maybe we should stream all of Simpsons. Should we do that? Does
Whoa.
anyone know? Anyone
And
up for
get banned.
that? Yeah. Exactly. Anyone want to get banned? Do you
No.
want to get banned? Oh,
Want to get what now?
uh, grown-ups talking. But yeah, what were we even talking about for
Wait,
this?
you say grown-ups are talking.
Yeah,
Aren't I older than you two?
No.
no.
Oh no, guy's older. I'm older than Reska.
Exactly. You
What?
are,
How do
yes.
I know this
But if I
fucking
count elf
thing?
years, then I'm
Guy
older.
with like the easiest to remember birthday as well.
Exactly.
Don't you
Somehow just always
share it with
forget.
someone? Oh yeah,
What
you
do you mean?
share it with
I share with probably many
Mitsuha
people.
from Your Name, which is Your Name is your favorite anime. One of your
Wait, isn't that
favorites.
me?
Who talking
Yes,
to?
guy.
Like
The
who's
guy?
they?
No,
No, wait.
Reska. I'm
Oh,
getting
he's
Oh,
even,
confused now.
oh my god. Let's
he doesn't
move on
even
to the
know.
next topic because this is
Yeah.
just
Let's
this
kick
is a
Adder out. I
man.
mean,
I'm pointing, but no one can see me pointing because I've got you both on two
well,
screens, and I'm
obviously.
pointing, and obviously no one can see it.
Oh
And then
my
my
god.
brain can't catch up.
Yeah,
I've had a hard week.
honestly.
Okay.
Let's just get rid of Adder. Let's mute Adder a sec and carry on.
Well, you've already got rid of one member. Who would have say?
Exactly.
Ooh,
You did it, yeah.
Shh,
Killed him.
we shouldn't talk about that.
Carry on.
Well, I
th-
guess the topic is my first topic at the top, but I haven't watched any of it yet.
Well, then let's ignore that completely and
Well, I could
go on to the
I
say
next
mean,
one.
that I found, with all my learning racing knowledge, that
You know,
Toyota
Racing.
did a animation series on their YouTube channel, uh, showing off their cars racing against each other. It's a short, they're like a couple of minutes long, and there's 2 seasons of it. And it's called Grip, the animation, which is a yeah, as I said, Toyota animation, which I'm going to binge watch at one point because they're not very long. Showing off all their newish cars going against each other, kind of thing, with other cars, I think. So yeah, that'd be a good
With
watch
other cars.
with other
it seems to be
cars.
called Grip Anime Series on
Yes,
YouTube. So
there's two
interesting.
seasons, but it's not on Mao, which I was disappointed that I couldn't add it.
I mean, yeah, it might not even be Japanese.
Well, it says Toyota
Hey, what
USA,
isn't?
but Toyota is Japanese,
Hmm.
but it's the USA one.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? There's no credits on here anyway, so no way of knowing.
No,
Mm,
no
Um,
signs of slowing.
and that is
mm.
interesting for it's
Yes,
only a
I
marketing thing,
will.
but like
I will watch it
looking at these
all
thumbnails.
and give my verdict.
Rate it 10. Oh.
Next topic on our list, we're going to talk about the Switch again.
Is me again.
Throwback to episode
Ugh.
1. New agreement allows Nintendo to brick your Switch, that rhymes, following unauthorized use in a bid to prevent piracy. Do you have any more details, Ada?
That's pretty much all that it is in the statement. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm on the fence with it because obviously, because some people say you buy it, it becomes yours. So if you want to like mod it or something along those lines, you got your right to do so. Apparently, some people think. But then at the end of the day, if Nintendo is still giving you updates, doing things for you on the Switch, then technically they still kind of own the whole thing, but you're just using it kind of thing. I don't know. It's just, it's hard to like, without all the laws on top of it. It's just, how do you guys feel about that news if you
Yeah, one
got
thing
one?
that I've seen thrown around recently, which I never really considered, is that even when you buy a physical copy of something, like when we buy a physical copy of a game versus download, often you feel like you own it more with the physical copyright. But strictly speaking, that's not true. You only ever purchase a license, and that
Yeah.
license is bound by the license agreement. Yes, you have the game physically. It's like it's on the media. If you have a disc or something, right? You have the game files in your hands on a piece of physical media, but your license to play that is or do what you want with it is determined by the licensing agreement that you agree to play the game. So
Yeah.
technically, by all that logic, yeah, you can't even back up your own games the way that people claim that you should be able to, and I believe you should be able to really. And ultimately, when it comes to if you own, especially if you own something like a Nintendo game, I think there's no issue with doing what you want with it, and it annoys me how Nintendo, who obviously earns so much
That's it.
money, are so keen. They take down emulators as well. That in recent years they've taken down like Yuzu or whatever it was, the Switch emulator.
Yeah.
Um,
Nintendo are over the top though, aren't they, really? Like they do go they really like I understand piracy, you obviously don't want people pirating your games all the time, but it is a bit like they're on a witch hunt. They really just want
yeah,
to like they don't give a shit. They will just there's no sort of whereas probably companies like Sony and Microsoft know it's happening, but they're like, well, it's not exactly harmful. Whereas I think Nintendo just like, no, absolutely no chance. Like we will not, we do not sort of deal with pirates at all. And it's a bit like, I get it, but it's a bit over the top. Like, and they do go lengths. And the thing that annoys me, with Nintendo, is the fact like well, and it's probably the same as I guess maybe similar to Sony, not as much, but like their games are so damn expensive. Like they never go down in value because there's just Nintendo tax on it. So it's annoying that like I mean some people generally probably do pirate because they can't afford it. I mean they want to play it and they just can't afford to buy games every single bloody day, which is absolutely fair. And it's a bit like but then, if I go out now, if I went to local CX to try and buy, say, well, what was Mario Odyssey, which was a release title, it'll still be like 40 to 50 quid. And it's like, but that game came out in what, like 2016, 17? And it's just not devalued at all, which I guess is good if you want to sell it. But then it's like they really like for like if you're spending 50 quid on a game that's that old now, I mean, granted it probably is one of the best games you can get on the Switch. It's a bit like it's no wonder that people get a bit pissed off, and that's why they basically resort to pirating stuff or doing other things because, well, Nintendo just being a bit over the top with it. But I know, I mean, I don't agree with piracy. Obviously, it's not like I don't pirate anything to be honest. I don't, not even like films, TV, whatever. But that's just because I don't have enough of interest to even do so. But like with I especially don't do it games, but it is. Yeah, I understand people do it. Some people may pirate it for like like hour or two, and then think, "Oh, I'm actually going to buy it." It may actually, if they get rid of all piracy, it may actually dwindle their sort of sales numbers. Because I know some people definitely do pirate games just to try them out, like a demo, basically, and then be like,
yeah.
"Oh, I actually
Yeah.
like it enough to." Because you are like at the end of the day, if you want to buy a new game, you're looking at like 60, maybe 70 quid. That's quite a lot of money just to put in hopes that the game's going to be good enough that you want to, play it for the amount of time. I understand it. It's why demos need to be more freely available than they used to be back on like the PS1. They just don't really release any demos anymore. It's
It's
such
kind
a
of hard to
shame.
think though that game companies like their target audience because a lot of the games say 7+ on them to start with. That their target audience can't really buy or ask for this game if it's that price. But it just looks like they're just targeting content creators who have the money to
No,
buy
it's not
these
good
games
parents.
to then show off the game to them for people to buy it. But then the people that technically targeted audience for can't actually get it themselves. So I don't know how it's
Yeah, I
going.
mean,
But with
it's
the yeah, but with a side note about Nintendo about like how they're doing things. Recently they've just done more with Power World with that lawsuit that's been going on. That now Power World had to take off the ability to fly on your pals, and now they had to put in a glider premise. So you have to have a glider with you, and if you have flying pals, they'll boost your glider stats. So that's another Nintendo
What?
thing. Yeah, Nintendo's still going
That's
on
crazy.
with Power
How do you
World,
own the rights to
flying
yeah,
on
riding
your
a
animal.
fictional
to
animal
a,
in a
yeah,
video
to a
Yeah.
game? Like,
feature in the game is mental.
So
That is
that
just,
was new. That was like last week news that I've recently just because obviously we're talking about Nintendo just resurfaced in my brain. Yeah, it's just they just constantly keep attacking Power World because apparently it's
yeah,
copied
I
them
I
way too much.
understand. again, though, I mean, it definitely has copy Pokemon at some point. I mean, you can clearly see it has by just the premise of the game. But I mean, it doesn't mean that Pokemon it can be the only game that can ever do it. And we can't. We have to stay clear of it because let's face it, the last Pokemon game was crap. So
And I
I
mean,
mean, one of
what
the
what is Pokemon? It's a turn-based RPG. Like,
well, yeah, exactly, yeah.
there's a dime a dozen of those in the world from the era that Pokemon comes from.
And yeah,
But
most
not
of
so
them
much
are a lot
anymore.
better.
But
So that's the thing. Like
so
old Pokemon, fantastic, but new Pokemon, crap. So, which they just re-released like Emerald. That's what they need to do. That's how they get a load of money.
Well, I've just been playing Pokemon Go, so that's my Pokemon intake.
Uh, it's too old now. Pokemon Go. I can't play it ever
It's
again.
not too old. I need you guys to open your gifts so I can send more to get
Nope.
stuff because I
lol.
can't do anything.
I
Should
never play
like,
it ever
I mean,
again.
actually, I'll combine the two topics so far here because we probably have Pokemon Go to thank for the existence of WAS.
That is true.
Wait,
Yeah.
we do?
Yeah, okay. Do you want to know the full timeline of WAS?
The what?
The secret lore, the
Oh,
full timeline of WAS,
go
like
ahead.
from the very
Even
start.
I'm in it and I don't remember all of it.
So we go back to approximately 2012.
Really?
I was round a
So.
friend. Yes, I go around a friend's house, and I think his sister has a plush of the Pokemon called Tepig, right?
Oh God.
And for more context, I've never played Pokemon or watched Pokemon at this point in my life, so um, I don't know many Pokemon. I'd only know like Pikachu, Squirtle, all that. But now I know Tepig, right? For some reason. And then whenever someone would like be shocked that I don't know, like I haven't seen Pokemon, I'd be like, "Oh, I only know Pikachu, Squirtle, Tepig," and people be like, "Wait, Tepig? That's so random compared to the other two."
Yeah.
Because
The others are
what
well
the
known
fuck?
more. Yeah.
So even like, there's a reason why I knew that one, but I started using that because it was funny. But anyway, point is, Tepig became like as a meme my favorite Pokemon to the point where fast forward to 2017. Wait, no, more
Wait,
like
maybe.
yeah, 2000. Yeah, well, about 2017. I started a new job, and this person was aware that I'd used this quote on them, right? I'd used it during these years at this job, right? And point is, get to like 20. What is it? 20. It must have been 2019. Yeah, 2019. He tells me at work, "Oh, they're adding Tepig to Pokemon Go soon." I'm like, "Oh, I'll have to get back on it." So I do, and I get into it. And then I think I talked to you two and a hot shot a little from before, and but what was it? Oh, it was in fact a friend of mine that had the Tepig plush. He went to the Pokemon Center in London in 2019, and then it made me jealous, and I think all of us kind of wanted to go. So it was me, Ada, and Hotshot. We went and queued up all day, didn't we, at the Westfield Shopping Center in London
Mental.
for the Pokemon Center. Point is, we play Pokemon Go a lot during this day. Obviously, there's extra spawns and things, and we get into it, and Guy gets into it too as a result of this. And we're now hanging out together as a group of four more than ever before.
Mm.
Because we weren't really hanging out like much before that,
Not
right? Like,
no, not a lot.
we've been friends
Loads.
for a
No.
long time, but not like actively like a group of four, always in
Yeah.
VC or whatever. Like that wasn't the case. But then like that started us together. Then COVID happened, and we were like gaming together for like all of 2020, and then end of 2020 is when the conversation about WAS happened. So that is
Yeah.
full timeline of WAS, and Tepig specifically is the reason WAS exists.
And that's,
I
yeah,
could.
6.5 hours queuing on
Yes.
that queue. And
Yeah,
I
you guys are
couldn't get
mental.
anything I wanted because everyone else got it before I did.
You guys are mental. That's all I have to say.
And that's the story as
Unbelievable.
well, where I happened to order drinks and everything was
It's
finished.
Beanie. Our favorite
Uh,
quote in
yeah.
2025.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that quote that we've probably said on stream a bunch in recent months, but not before, is from 2019.
It's
It's become
mental.
more of a meme now than ever before. Well, I like how that ties into the story I just told. Like, come
Yeah,
on! Everything's dumb. Everything's stupid. I swear.
everything's
We're
pretty stupid.
stupid.
Yeah,
Well, true.
especially Adam. I
Guilty
mean,
as
yeah, it's
charged.
good. Charged is guilty.
I was going to say so, but I've lost my train
uh,
of thought on it.
Good. Well, then I guess we're in the podcast then, since you
What?
can't say anything.
What was it about?
I
Or
don't know, you
Pokemon? Or
Pokemon Go and oh yeah, where we would just constantly
Ah,
meet up in the city and you just
yeah,
walk around and then go to like raids and stuff. And then
I would
we'll
drive
that's
meet
into my city center after work and
we'll
do
meet
the
a
raid trains.
yeah, and we'll
that's
meet
mad.
a massive group of people doing exactly the same thing. So you'll just see a group of people standing near this like
Yeah.
monument or something, because that's where like they put them. And then you just see them stand there for a few minutes, then all walk in the same direction to the next one. It was so bizarre,
Didn't get a shiny that day. It's
but that
Like,
doesn't
like
worthless.
happen as much now.
well, well, my city's bigger than where you live, but
Yeah.
it does happen, and Guy will vouch for this. Sometimes we'll be walking through the city center, and there'll be like when it's three people standing in place, all looking at their
Yeah.
phones. I'll like peer over. I'll be like, oh, they gotta be Pokemon Go. And like, yep, they're doing a raid because I know where the
It's
gyms are. I
mad.
remember where the gyms are, and there'll be if there's
Yeah.
two or three people standing together looking at phones, and it's in the vicinity where I remember a gym is. It's like, oh, you gotta be playing Pokemon Go. You gotta be doing a raid right now. There's no way.
Oh, I can't. But like me, I
Crazy.
think me and Guy were doing one with Hotshot at one point, and we just were just so into it that it was just raining, and we were still we were still standing there in the cold, trying to get the raid. I was like,
It's just any chance for shiny though. It's just
yeah.
like I needed shinies. Like
Oh, and
I
Resco,
don't care anymore, but still.
yeah, and Resco was obsessed with my shiny Shinx,
Ah,
because it's
yes.
yellow, and the only way he can get it is if he gave me an out of print manga book.
I mean, that was mental itself. Bartering
And then
over
it became a community thing again where you could try and get one again, and it was just so funny. I still need to read it though.
Yeah,
the community.
it's different to have an actual and not community one, even though there's no
True.
functional difference. Like
Yeah.
you'll always know.
And
You'll
I've
always
always
know.
got
Yeah,
your
that's
name
true.
at the bottom. Well, you've got my name at the bottom because obviously it
Yeah,
says old partner.
lol.
Old part.
Well, obviously not those exact words, but old
Nah,
trainer, partner, whatever. My new partner is an
Yeah,
apple.
an apple.
interesting.
Yes, Applin.
Applin.
Yes, it's a creature
That is a
in.
It,
Pokemon. Yeah,
It is a
it's just a new
creature.
Pokemon.
It's
relatively.
from Garla, the
La la
the
la la.
It's from
the
Sword and
UK one.
Shield.
Yes, the UK based
Okay,
one.
I should remember that,
So
but
I
I don't
have
remember
A
that
so I have a
Pokemon.
lot of
lot. It wasn't a
synergies.
very. It just wasn't a very useful Pokemon, so you probably didn't use it
Oh,
ever.
is that
So
why Adoro just picked the most useless Pokemon?
Well, no, it was recently added, and the only way you can get it is if you
Ah,
found apples and you clicked on the apples, and you may or may not get an apple or an applin because you need tart or sweet apples to evolve it.
Tart.
Yes,
Tartmatic.
you know,
I knew
tartar,
you were gonna say that because I was gonna
tartar,
say that.
So you can know yourself.
Unarkami.
Dear. No. Uh, just no.
Right. So that was a good talk about Nintendo piracy.
Yeah, no, I was literally trying to say, what was even the start of that conversation?
I don't
Like,
know,
Right,
just
does anyone have anything to add on the topic of Nintendo bricking switches, etc. right now, or
yes,
shall we move on to the next
guy.
no,
subject?
no,
Go
no.
ahead.
Do you need your pirate eye patch back?
Well,
You said you don't pirate much. And I says, well, I've still got your eye patch if you need it.
no.
Oh, come on, that was a
Thanks.
good joke.
I
That's
I have
terrible
your
joke.
parrot.
Huh?
I have your parrot.
Yes, please move forward. Yes, please. This is the torturous.
You've still got that magazine in the back of your boot.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I did. We
Stop
talked about this
lying.
before. I really don't. Like, you can come out and have a look if you want. It's not there.
You don't want to
I
go
You've
will,
got
investigating.
and
that
I bet
anyway.
you I'll find it.
You don't want to be in there. It's dangerous.
But did you put it there, Adro?
Yeah.
Wait, when?
He's lying, Resko. He didn't do it. It's still in
It's
his own
in your
house.
imagination. No, I
It's
once
still
if
in
I
his
meet, because oh yeah, talk about that. I want to meet you for a certain
house.
cinema event.
Scientific? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'll have my car with me for
SLA?
that. I'll need it. So, no,
So
nice. I'm not taking my car to that.
after the podcast, we'll
Actually,
pick
I
Give
don't
me
those
give a
location.
tickets.
When is SLA for Is it
I
usually
can't.
after?
Well, funny you say that. I can't go to SLA this year because it clashes with the Sim Racing Expo in Germany. So.
Yeah, which I was about to say I wasn't going to go either. So,
Who wants to go there? You're coming with me to Scotland, mate. We're going to SLA and
but you'll be going by yourself, mate.
ah
Everyone
no.
else is actually doing other things, so we
Really?
can't
Other
go.
things? Who would have thought?
Exactly.
I know,
No, but the
crazy.
other cinema event's something else. So it's not
Yeah, I
SLA.
know. We should go to that.
Yes.
I should watch the show Down to Down before
Yeah,
that.
you should binge
Mm,
watch it all.
mm.
In fact, well, do happen to have like an 8-hour flight or two coming up, so
No,
that's a good
that's good.
There you
show.
go.
Chance.
12. Well,
Hold on.
4 episodes. What?
How long's flight?
I guessed 8 hours, but I'm guessing.
Hmm. No, I was just thinking like it should be enough time to watch like at least two of the Lord of the Rings films. That's a bit
Oh,
more important,
you
I think.
can fuck off,
That
Not the
will that
theatrical one.
that will be for the 16-hour
mate.
flight.
Like putting on a flight, a movie in a flight is meant to make the flight less boring, not more boring. So I'm
Honestly,
afraid.
if you've never watched Lord of the Rings, you need to watch Lord of the Rings. I
But
swear to
he's
God.
talking about his
Yeah,
racing, isn't he? Not Lord of the
no, I don't
Rings.
about Lord of the Rings.
Nah, he's talking about racing.
What?
He's talking about
Well, I
Resca's
don't about
driving
Lord of the Rings.
skills.
And the thing with Lord of the Rings, though, genuinely, is that the entire setting is not something I find interesting. Like it's not medieval, but you know what I mean. Like medieval
Well,
would
it's
be
high
included.
Do you have
fantasy, isn't
something
it?
against elves, mister?
Oh, I hate elves as well, but that's besides the point.
Well, I'm only half, so you
Oh,
can half
I
hate
hate
me.
half of
You
you.
can hate half of me.
But
Haste. That's bad.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yes. But
Sorry.
Well,
yeah, I understand though in Lord of the Rings, like yeah, it is like from the outside, I think it does look like it is something hard to get into. I'm more keen because I watched it as a kid anyway, so like I'm almost probably forced to watch in a way. But it
Mm.
is just it's so good. Like it is everything about Lord of the Rings, which is what I love. Like the music is like second to none in a film like trilogy. All three films are brilliant, I think. And like the setting and like everything about like the characters, the setting, like everything is so like beautiful as well. Like it's all filmed in like New Zealand, so you can imagine the landscape is like very impressive. But it is just like I think we definitely need to have a time where you watch each film and then we may have to podcast afterwards and just get your reaction to each film. Actually, I don't know. Is Anne have you watched all of that?
uh, no.
Well, how? I just assumed you'd watched all of them. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
normal not
stop
to.
targeting me. I'm not the only one. I shout at Anna too, for
Yeah,
fuck's
Anne, you
sake.
Well, I think it
scumbag.
was during the time where you would either
Especially because
watch.
you would like it as well.
Yeah, I know. I
Like
probably would, but I never watched it because it was more. I don't know. It was the books on it, but it was
it's not
around the.
animated.
No, well, there isn't. There is a Lord of the Rings anime that came out
Yeah, bad.
last
Don't
year
watch
or
that.
this
I
year.
might watch that.
That's yeah. I'm gonna
Don't
watch
watch
that.
that. Don't watch that.
Um,
Don't you dare watch that
but
and
it's
not
around the
the
time
actual Lord of
where
the Rings.
another book series and movies came out, and most people were watching those. So I just fell into
No,
that
there's
category.
well, yeah, but that's because that was aimed more at our age group. But
And then
Lord of the
Twilight
Rings
happened.
was way better than that series.
I will
I
probably agree with you
literally
if after I've watched it, but that's why I didn't watch Lord of the
But
Rings
watch it
because the
then.
other
Why?
things
Literally,
came out.
you two could watch it. We could like do a review of like Lord of the Rings. Like, come on, man! Like you both could watch all three films.
We could
Don't
Yeah,
watch
stream.
Hobbit.
but I can't
No, we
watch
can't.
it.
You can. You got an 8 hour flight. Watch it then.
No, he has
You
Yeah,
can
to
at least
but
watch
watch.
one of
He
them.
has
I
to
just
watch anime
can't.
for that.
I cannot
Oh,
bear to watch
girls. You don't. Yeah, it's just mental. It's honestly
I
mental.
can see his eyes just
it.
slowly like drooping down, going, "I hate this life."
I mean,
He
I'm
needs
thinking
to.
about Lord of the Rings, so it's a bit of a struggle right
Honestly,
now.
honestly, you must be the only people in the world who haven't seen the
In the
film. Newborn
world, I don't
babies
think
have
so.
seen the film
I don't think my
before
parents
they're
have
even
seen it.
born. Well, that's because they obviously
My parents, of all
hate
people that don't
laughter and
watch these kind of
fun.
things, have watched Game of Thrones.
I
Well,
haven't seen
exactly.
Game of
They've watched
Thrones.
the
Even I
worst
haven't
one.
seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Game of Thrones
I
is
don't
a
really like it.
recently very popular show, so that's
Yeah.
why they've seen it. Like everyone's
It's
seen it. I
because yeah,
haven't, but
but yeah, I mean, Lord of the
everyone has.
Rings. Remember, you gotta. Lord of the Rings has been out for over 20 years now. The films have. I mean, the books have been out for way longer. But like the film has been out. Like the last one was 2003, 2004.
That's what I mean. But the way
So
you talk
like
about it doesn't sound that old, but it is that
this, but
old.
it is old, but it looks fantastic. Like for a film, I mean, it was all filmed in the same year.
Oh, the
All three
guy, the
films.
guy from Pirates of the Caribbean's in it.
I
Turner.
mean,
Timmy?
the
He's
guy
one of the elves.
Orlando Bloom. You
Yes.
mean the guy from?
I don't know his real
And
name.
it
I only
annoys me as well that you're like the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean because I'm just thinking like, no, he's in Lord of the
I-
Rings and he's like, whenever he appears in anything else, it's oh he's Legolas from Lord of the Rings, not the other way around.
nah, he's
I mean, the
Turner
guy,
Bro,
guy from Pirates of the Caribbean only means Johnny Depp, right? Like that's the first thing anyone would think of.
I did say Turner.
great,
His
but
surname's Turner.
still,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
then
sucks.
I just think Timmy if you say Turner.
He was an
Alright, you
average kid.
turnip.
No one
Wait,
understands.
what about what's the how does the teeth song go?
My shiny teeth in
The
me
shiny teeth in
by
me. Yeah.
Chip
Shiny
Skylark.
teeth like
I have that on
glistening
my
just like a
phone.
Christmas tree. Too
I
lazy to
love
shuffle
that
it.
song. Oh, he also
And there's
Shiny
only
teeth
two
sings
of
in me.
them.
Icky Vicky.
Yeah, that's another classic as well.
Hey,
Oh
Vicky,
I
my
you're
do like
so
gosh.
so
Chip
icky
Skylark's
and
song.
bad being around you. So what?
What?
Chip
What?
Skylark.
No, I'm telling you.
I
Well,
stopped singing
we
because I didn't
have
want to get
a
the lyrics wrong like I always do.
we just created and set a Guinness World Record, I believe. The only podcast ever to jump in very quick motion from Lord of the Rings to Fairly Odd Parents in conversation. Never been done before.
Well,
What if we now find out
well,
it
to
has
be
been done
fair,
many times?
we did just sing some songs, and it does segue into the next topic.
Does it?
Yes,
So, Guy, have at
Guy.
it, because I've never heard of this.
What?
What is Even in Arcadia by
Oh
Sleep
man.
Token?
This is just like crazy. So I don't understand how I mean, Reska, you've heard of them. I think you've actually got one of their songs on your phone. You
Have I
probably don't
Shazammed it at 2
remember.
a.m.?
Yeah, you Shazammed it at like 2 a.m. So and then
I
you
only got
added
my
it to your
phone restart.
phone. But it's yeah, their new album, so it's been hyped for like since they've announced that they're gonna be releasing a new album. This year, by the way, is fantastic for like metal rock, like whatever, all that sort of genre is like there's so many albums, stuff, whatever. But yeah, this album is I think a lot of people will say that it's not that great, it's whatever. But I think they're just being knobs and they're completely lying because I actually find this transcendence. Like it actually like almost this album and like the one before I find fantastic. I really like Sleep Token anyway, but like their style is strange because they're basically not they're genreless, if you know what I mean. They're like I think they try and sort of stay in that metal genre. However, some of the songs could easily just be on like heart radio. They're not like they're like almost pop, but like a bit of rock. There's always usually like, and his voice is like Vessel, who's the lead singer, who you're not supposed to know who he is, but people basically found out, but bullied him and everything and doxed him, whatever, found out who he actually is. But he's just this figure that you don't really know anything about. And yeah, his voice is amazing. I believe they are British as well, actually, which is another good point, of course. But yeah, it's just this album. I applaud you should both listen to it, even though like Rescue, you're probably more like it's more your genre. But like it's just incredible. Like it's really you can sit there listen to it, and it's like a story, but it's not at the same time. It's very hard to put into actual words how to describe. Like if someone said, "Oh well, what is it like this song, like this song?" I'm like, I can't tell you because it's complete. It's their own thing. It's like their own genre. Like Sleep Token is its own thing, and it's just mad to me that like people like yourselves don't even barely know them because like the music is fantastic. Like it's so, and like I say, like explaining is like transcendence is like almost, you could lie on your bed, listen to his music,
And cut out.
hallucinogenic. It's almost like you can understand like some people. I mean, I don't know what you guys are like with music anyway, because there's some people that find music is very like moving in a way that you get goosebumps listening to it. You get like feelings from it, which I do. I get like, I actually, some songs will literally give me chills. Like it will, I'm emotionally attached to a song. So like with these, like there's one that I won't even pronounce the name of it because every time I hear someone say the name of it, they get it wrong. It's like the second to last track on the album, and it changes genre like 3 or 4 times. So it's like really slow, then it gets more upbeat, then it has this like guitar riff that is like from like Blink 182. Like it's just mad. It's just like it's mental, like really pop punky sort of sounding. Then it goes back to being a bit calmer, then metal, but it just has like a way that you can just sit there and you can almost, like I said, it depends how you look at music and how you connect with music, but you can feel the pain of Vessel, like the singer himself, like singing it. Like obviously, been had some experiences through life, like we all have, heartbreak, whatever. Like, is all these sort of things, like they're not just. I find most people listen to metal or don't listen to metal and just assume metal is just screaming and it has no meaning. When actually, the actual fact is the best songs with meaning and purpose are metal rock, like basically anything that isn't just pop crap that's just about doing each other is like, these songs are just on another level. They really are on another level, and it is such like a fantastic album. And I don't, they're so cryptic as well. Like there's something going on like literally now, like right as we speak, they've got like a countdown going down and no one knows what it's for.
A
But there's just a
tour.
countdown that's going. Well, no, it's not at all because they're at download. It's one of the reasons they're headlining download. Bearing in mind they're only a band that's come popular in the last couple of years. They're already headlining download on Saturday, the biggest day. That's crazy. That's never been done before. It's usually like a band like I think Green Day are there as well and Corn. So the fact that Green Day and Corn there, who are both massive, then you've got Sleep Token there, who, like I said, weren't massive this time. Like 10 years ago, probably not. I don't. They probably weren't releasing songs then, but no one heard of them. You would have no idea who it was. Like
Yeah.
Green Day, you've known for like 20 odd years because we all know Green Day. It's just to me. It's like, and I do. I'm really like, especially the music now, like a lot more, especially with Apple Music, being able to just not have to go out and buy a bloody album, which would be a pain in the ass, and you just stream it, download or whatever. It is just so good, and it's so. I guess the thing that like, you'd be very open minded if you went to listen to this album because it's not. I wouldn't say like, oh, if you're feeling really happy, go listen to this album because it's not really that. It's like solemn in a way. It's like melancholic. It is very. I don't know, like not if you're having a bad day, I'd just say, but like if you're feeling a bit tired, whatever, just stick it on, listen to it. I would think just give it like at least one album playthrough, give it a chance, like more so than anything else, because I think that's how you find music. I've become very. I used to just listen to a song and be like, I hate it. I listen to it like a first play, unless it's like Dance Monkey, which is still the worst song ever made. It's like I hate that song so much. But like if it's anything but that, I will give it a chance. And you'll probably find you end up liking it. It's all relative, and everyone has different sort of tastes. But yeah, I really really am really looking forward to them releasing more things, and it just makes you really want to go to download, which I can't. So that makes me very upset
Why can't you?
because I'm already going to another festival when it's on. So
Oh. Well,
annoyingly,
I love music
coincide
too. I'm getting music equipment and stuff. So yeah.
music equipment.
Well, better speakers and stuff that I've got at the moment. So I've been looking at a lot of music stuff because yes, as you say, I'm in like I listen to music and it gives me the feeling and stuff that I know it's good and all that. Like when I hear
What,
someone
erotic?
sing, when I hear someone sing and stuff, and I know that they're good, that I will get like the back of my neck hair stick up, or I feel it like a weird
Yeah.
um like you're being like G-force basically that you're feeling.
Yeah, there's emotion.
Yeah, the
Emotion to the
emotion
songs,
with
yeah.
it. Because there was
Mm.
a song sung at the end of the Doctor Who episode, the latest Doctor Who episode that I watched.
Was it Hold
Um,
Mine Half Step?
no, a woman was singing the theme of her home planet, and it was so emotional. So I was tearing up. Like when the whole like place was
Was it
tearing
My
up, I
Humps?
was tearing up. Huh?
Oh.
I can't wait. Why can't I be emotional without you ruining it?
No, just being a dick. I just said was it My Humps? Because you didn't say it was
That
one
would
of them.
be My Humps would be a pretty good anthem of your home planet. I'm
Yeah.
tempted to just write that into Resca's lore right
Well,
now. Like,
anyway,
fuck it, My
anyway,
Humps. You know I like the Black
the
Eyed Peas. Let's
species
go.
the species was called
Sure.
Hellions, and they're from Hellier, and they have horns on their head. Um,
Nice.
but it was the Doctor episode it's from is called the Intergalactic Eurovision.
Oh, I
So
was going to say actually.
segue, the
Uh,
Eurovision contest ended was it last night? Yeah, I watched it last night. Who won? Who do you think won?
I don't know. I forgot. I think I
I
saw it
don't
on Blue
care.
Sky, but forgot.
It was Austria.
Why didn't they get 0 points?
No,
Well, who
Austria
got 0
won.
points that was surprising? Was
We
it
did
Switzerland?
we?
Iceland
Well,
got
we
zero
always
for a
do.
very, very long time, and then they got some points. But yeah, we were 19th. The UK was 19th.
UK never win, so I hate
I
Eurovision. I'm
think it's
sorry.
a lot of
It's hard.
countries try to win, but
Sorry.
some try not to because they know that if they win, they have to
But
host
yeah,
it.
that's already bad.
And
Yeah, but
then,
that's why it's bad.
yeah, because
That's
if
like
the
the
winner has
football
to
league. Oh,
host
we don't
it,
want to host
no,
it.
because there's countries that really
Like,
can't afford it, and they will have to host it.
oh, just don't. Simply
So
don't say I
yeah,
can't. We can't
Austria
do it.
won with
Sorry, look.
someone doing kind of like opera heavy music kind of
I mean, that
sounds.
sounds pretty good.
It
I like
was
art.
very
There's
emotional.
some
Hmm?
opera metal music is that's really good. I was going to say actually, before you change to Eurovision, with like you've both seen the film, The
Have I?
Greatest Showman, though. Yes, because
Oh,
you've definitely seen
I
that film.
was, I've watched that so many times, um, that I even watched it with Korean subtitles randomly.
Oh, that's incredibly random. Like, why would you
Yes.
do that?
I don't know because one of the subtitle options I actually clicked, and I just left it. I have the album.
It's like, oh gosh,
I
I don't
actually bought the album. And yeah, I was also constantly
know.
listening to it and mouthing the words, and then I really wanted to cover my own uh Greatest Showman
I don't know.
songs.
I've heard you sing it, so
No,
on
you
stream.
have not. And I've listened to a
Ah.
cappella versions of it and all that.
Al
The
Capone
point was
versions.
Al
Oh, and
Pacino
there's a show
versions
that going around, and it's back with it's got more.
going around.
There's a Greatest Showman show going around because they appeared
Yeah,
on
and
Britain's
that's
Got
all.
Talent, and they've extended their season because of high demand. So we could all go watch it if you want. It's a big circus kind of thing. It's actually not like
Afro.
it's not like a you go to a stage and watch them perform it. It's actually in a circus tent, and circusy kind of is in the movie whilst they're singing the songs and doing
I hate
tricks.
circus though.
So that would be a fun thing to watch if you guys are down.
I've never seen The Greatest Showman.
What
Wait,
have
I'm
you
not, I'm
not?
not
what?
sure.
The guy who likes musicals and always talks about Hamilton
I don't like
Gets you
hasn't
Hamilton.
watched The
angry.
Greatest
He's
Showman.
But
angry.
but then The Greatest Showman is not Hamilton. Like I don't like a lot of musicals really. I
You
just
say
really
you
like
like
a select few.
musicals.
I don't know. I often say exactly what I just said. I don't like a lot of
Would you
musicals.
class Callan Tuesday as a musical?
Cow and
No, no.
chicken.
No. Well,
No,
it
that's not
kind
Because
of.
all
They
the
break
music,
into
all the
song.
it's a music show, but like you know, a musical has to be where they like burst into song in the scene. Carol and Tuesday, they perform music
Yeah, they're
in the
actually
universe.
performing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a
like
singing.
which is also a great genre of show. Like,
I performed in a musical. Bet you haven't seen
okay,
that one.
well,
Like
what is
what?
it?
Do you know?
I can't. I don't know
You
what you're
guys
talking about.
forgotten what it was? What I performed in a musical?
Billy
That's probably
Elliot, was
fair.
it?
I mean, there's one that we performed
We could
in.
have been anything that we wanted to be. What's that from?
That's still not helpful. That's not helpful at all.
It's got a similar
Yeah,
name to
more
a
more
singer.
popular song.
Let's see, what?
Adele.
Adele, what?
No.
What?
I got pied in the face.
It really isn't helping. I have no idea. I mean, like Chitty Bang Bang. I don't know. What are you
There's a
trying to
character in it.
say?
There's a character in it called Fat Sam.
That still
None of
doesn't
this.
help.
None of this is ringing a bell.
I had to wear a
That's shit.
trilby.
Blues
Nope.
Brothers?
My name was
Like,
Louis.
Nope.
this, like West Side Story? Like,
I was a gangster.
Gangs of
I,
London?
The movie was
I'm,
performed by kids.
I know.
oh,
Mate,
wait. No. I mean,
1920s.
the only thing I think of is Oliver, but
No. Really?
no, no.
I've been in Oliver.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but I don't. I still don't even know what you're talking about.
Really? My time as a theatre
Peter
kid, you've
Yes.
Pan?
forgotten the shows I were in? Oh my god.
I wasn't even there. So
It's two words. It's a
one cup. What?
it's a name.
Oliver.
Mate, you need
Very
some
gangstery name.
gangster. That's in
Al
gangsters. I
Pacino.
can't think of anything musical
Al
related involving
Capone.
gangster. Like, genuinely, nothing comes to mind.
You
I
don't have
actually
to sit
seriously.
around complaining about the way your life is wound up.
Nope.
Nope.
These things
No.
aren't helping.
Yeah, we don't know any of the
My name is
songs.
Tallulah. I live. Come on.
Adaro, I think you're gonna tell me the name. You're gonna tell us the name of the show, and we're
Yeah.
not
We're
gonna
still gonna
know
be like,
it. We're just not gonna know
You're
what you're
not
talking
okay.
about.
Bugsy Malone.
Yeah, I mean, I've
exactly.
heard
Like,
of
I
that.
mean,
I
yeah,
was
but
in
I,
Bugsy
like,
Malone.
Bugsy Malone in my head is a rapper because he is.
Yes, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It's someone
Post
has the name of
Malone.
it, but it's
No, no,
also a
no, no, not that. There is a Bugsy Malone as well, unrelated.
Is I
But
don't
yeah,
even know.
yeah.
I think he's a British rapper. Yeah.
Oh, bad.
So
Well,
I don't know.
none of you. Does that not
Well, yeah,
ring a bell?
that's not even weird. But you weren't like in the actual
I wasn't
like
in the.
theater like release of it, were you? You weren't like going around touring with it. It's just you did it at school or something. Like
No, I was in a theatre company, and I did do a theatre of Bugsy Malone
that's just like
and some other
boring,
to be
shows.
fair, this is probably during the period where none of us were really like close friends with you.
yeah,
This was when I was
Like at
that's
that
back
age.
why.
from Belgium, so we were
This is why
friends.
we weren't close friends with you because you
Oh no,
were
no, I
doing
don't know,
stuff like
because
similar.
like was it before secondary school or after secondary school? Like after secondary school started, I should say.
Uh, I think it was during primary. I think like towards the
Well,
end,
then that I definitely would have been. So
or the
you can't
start,
blame me
Yeah.
in any way.
or the start of high school.
High school, we didn't go there.
So yeah,
So
I feel like it must be the start of secondary school because
yeah,
I like
because
yeah,
yeah.
I mean I did told you then, but like I don't know, I wouldn't have known everything about you, I guess. I
Well,
don't
I've
know.
talked about it before, but yeah, but musicals.
We're putting his name down.
Bugsy
Oh,
Malone.
one moment.
Not very good one.
Lithium Fox, thank you for the raid. Welcome into the
Ooh,
WAS podcast. I don't even know what we're actually meant to be talking about right now. What
no,
was
we
the
forgot.
topic?
Musicals.
Yeah, but that
No,
wasn't the
but before.
topic.
Oh
Oh
no, the
no, it's
topic was
the sleep
guys'
collection, wasn't it?
music, and then we talked about
Yeah.
how music makes you feel, and then I
Yes.
said how it makes you feel, and then we talked about Hamilton, and then I said I
Yes.
was in Bugsy Malone.
And then we spoke for like 20 minutes trying to guess what Adro's thing
Yeah,
he was
I
in
gave
for
you guys the songs, I
musical.
gave you size the guys of character names, and you still didn't get it.
Size? Yeah, that's because
So
we've
yeah,
never watched it.
so welcome in everyone. This is the WAS podcast, the Who Wants a Soda podcast. Tacky Toaster Tray Club is the name of the show. I'm Reska Kyoso, and I'm joined by my WAS mates Adro and Guy. And every other week we come on here and chat. And I
Kit,
hope you
basically.
enjoy the chat too. But Lith, please do let me know if the build update was a good one or not. I have skimmed it. I have not consumed it fully. I'll be interested to know what you think is good. It looked like a very juicy one in terms of technical stuff, improvements, things. So I'm looking forward to diving into that later.
That sounds sexy. Not gonna lie.
It does. Yeah, I've seen the screenshot of an IndyCar in the rain, and I'm ready.
Oh god, that sounds incredibly wrong, but
He's
still.
going to do some race drifting.
I'm ready to
His
get
body is ready.
wet.
Oh baby.
Oh,
That is
behave.
a lot of hype. That is a lot of hype, Liz. Yeah, no, I'm reading that and thinking I don't like this hype. But I will read the dev blog later and see what's going on. Hello there, Derek, as well.
Definitely.
Welcome in, and Wendy as well, and Kohai, and everyone else
Hello,
came along
everybody.
on
Hello,
the raid.
greetings from the WAS.
We bet
Uh,
we'll. I suppose we better wrap up now that everyone's here.
yeah, clearly,
Yeah,
yeah.
now it's time to
No,
end. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding. Well, guys, we've already talked about the anniversary thing that's next on the list.
shall we talk about, because I think it might be the most relevant to the audience coming in fact, no, the most relevant thing perhaps to the audience coming in here will be what I put in last.
Oh, Robert Carlyle.
Right at the bottom.
Yes,
We don't need to be in
I'll do
order.
it.
That's not...
We have never done it in order until
No,
today.
no,
Exactly.
I was trying to look for it,
No,
but it was
cares?
me that I've reacted to it because yeah.
I mean, you didn't even react to the one before that, which is also sports that you don't watch. So, but yeah,
True.
yesterday was the Indy 500 pole day and bump day. I guess that's the same day. It's kind of weird, but his history happened. So for context,
Oh,
there's a team called Prema. They're a European team, and they typically run in like things like Formula 2, Formula 3. They've never done Formula 1, but they run in basically every junior single seater series you can find. But this year, I believe this is their first year. They've not moved, but are additionally running IndyCar in the US, which is obviously that's the highest level of car they've driven probably, or run, I should say. And of the very different style of racing in the US, even with the road course racing, but IndyCar races on road courses and ovals, and they've never done that before. So, and the way the IndyCar schedule is actually stupid. The first oval on the schedule is the biggest and most dangerous race of the oval calendar, the Indianapolis 500, which also happens to be possibly the biggest race in the world, full stop. And one of their drivers is Robert Schwartzman, who is a European driver. He was doing F2 and stuff like that, never made it F1. He's also starting IndyCar for the first time this year. Probably drove for Prema in his junior years, driving for Prema in the US. First oval race ever of his career, and it's the Indianapolis 500 in an IndyCar. And well, he put it on pole. The way the pole works in IndyCar is that you actually do 4 laps, and your average speed or really average lap time determines where you rank. And while that sounds pretty straightforward, the car over 4 laps gets slidey. Lith will understand what I'm talking about because we did a million fucking quality runs the last week for iRacing. It's flat out all the way around, but the way they set up these cars for qualifying, you're just destroying the shit out of the tires to get the most pace out of 4 laps, to the point where on that lap 4, it's hard to control normally. But anyway, Robert Schwartzman, a rookie driver, put on pole. Massive celebration from the team. This team's, by the way, been running last in every race so far. Like, they've not been good. And they've just put on pole for the biggest race in the world. And it's actually history, because like that, quite like that has probably never happened. A rookie has been on the pole, but not for like a rookie team. And in the modern era, it's even less likely. So truly historical moment that we were watching in VC, a bunch of us racing VTubers last night. Yeah, it's quite cool to see. Do
So
either of you
what?
care?
No, I couldn't give a
No.
shit. No, I was gonna say, which one? Do you say one Indianapolis? Was it?
This is the
Is that
Indianapolis
in?
500. It's only the pole is qualifying, but that's
Oh, I see.
that. The Indianapolis 500 qualifying is probably more prestigious of a win than most motor races, even though it's not even the race. Because it used to be longer, but it's a whole like week of qualifying almost. Like they'll do the main qualifying. So what that does is it locks in the top. 33 cars are in the grid. They lock in the top 30 in the main qualifying session, I think. But then the top 8 do a shootout, and then the no, sorry, top 12 do a shootout of that, and then the top 6 of those get to run for the pole.
I see.
But then also, I say they lock in the top 30. Anyone 31st and down has to have their own qualifying session to determine 31, 2, 3, and who's out. So in
Oh.
this case, in this year, 34 people entered. So there's a whole qualifying session to determine which one car is going home. But that is
That's
the
insane.
cruelty of it. A few years ago, no more than that now, but I think was it 2017 and 18? Fernando Alonso drove the Indianapolis 500, and this is how cruel this race is. Fernando Alonso, in his first attempt, he led laps in the Indy 500. Not only did he qualify for it, he led laps, doing very well. Next
Mm.
year, with a different team, he got bumped. He was not in the fastest 33. Fernando Alonso couldn't make it in, despite the fact that he led the
Yeah.
race and could have won it the year before. No one's guaranteed. Even if you're a full season IndyCar entrant, like IndyCar Series entrant, you don't get a guarantee. And what's really interesting is that they're starting to do a thing in IndyCar. NASCAR already has this, where like full season entrants get guaranteed slots to the races. So in
Right.
NASCAR, this is already like this, and there's currently, I think, two full season entrants in NASCAR that don't get automatically qualified in because of a dispute. They didn't sign a contract because they didn't agree with it. But full season entrants are guaranteed to qualify. You can't be bumped out of the maximum number of cars by a one-time entrant, and that's going to be the same in IndyCar when they do this charter system. However, the teams agreed not to do that for the Indy 500, despite the fact that that's the biggest race of the year and would be the most value of having that for a team, for sponsors and stuff, because a guaranteed entry to the Indy 500 is great, and I think sometimes smaller teams struggle to get sponsors for the Indy 500 to try and qualify because there's no guarantee they'll even be in the race, so it's a struggle. However, the teams decided not to do it, I believe, for the Indy 500 because it kills the prestige of the event. Like, you got to qualify in, no one's safe. That they actually wanted to keep that aspect, which is kind of cool, actually. Because it's so many things in sport, and football does similar things.
Mm.
I think with like all this talk about a super league and stuff. It
Yeah,
keeps
yeah.
smaller teams out and keeps the big teams big, right? And that's a logical
Yeah.
thing to do to protect your assets as a team owner. But the
Yes.
fact that they wanted to keep, like, they felt like it would probably kill something about the Indy 500 to have guaranteed spots. So like, no one's getting that.
I think it's
Um,
good to have a bit of like what's the word? Like almost yeah, it's a competition before the competition. Like it's like to actually you're fighting for a place. I think is quite cool in itself. Like there's a lot of sport that yeah, like you do have. I mean, yeah, I suppose the football same with like relegation, but like it's a different like a fight. It's a different fight, and it's sort of cool to see that as well. Because I do even like that with qualifying in F1, like where you sort of, especially like the final or like the second qualifying, when you're like, especially if somebody doesn't qualify where you think they should, like say Verstappen qualified, like didn't even get to the third, qualifying stage, you'd be like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like, anything could happen. No, it's all like, I like the idea of little fights within a big fight, if you see what I mean. Like it's just there's a few things going on at the same time, and you're not just worried about like one thing. Like you're not worried about like just who's going to win. That's all I care about, sort of thing. Like you can also see a few other things, and I think racing is quite good with that. I mean, I don't know much about it because I only watch Formula One, but like even with Formula One, it's interesting to see like when you get a result that's a one that you're not predicting. You're a bit like, whoa, okay, like this could go, especially when it gets to the actual race. You're like, oh God, this could go anyway. Like, you're like, is it going to be? I mean, for the past few years, it's basically been Verstappen, but like, with Norris and everything this year, and and Piastri as well. It's like, okay, it's getting interesting. I mean, bear in mind, I haven't actually watched. I haven't really started this season watching very many of them because I just actually don't have the time to watch them annoyingly, and then I
yeah.
just forget about them. But is I do need to get back into it, but yeah, unfortunately for me, I think apart from like, was it? I can't remember last year. Did you stream? Or I feel like we watched Daytona together, or was that like? Did we watch it together, or
Daytona
were we watching at the
500
same
in
time?
NASCAR.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was something where was I streaming in VC or something? I think I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah. I feel like, yeah,
Yeah, I
because
think that
my
was
favorite
20.
thing.
I want to say 2024 Daytona 500. I think I did.
Yeah, I think it must have been
uh,
who, because my favorite thing is just seeing who's gonna, do the drivers.
I
But
think I think that's why I put it on because
oh,
we were
was it
talking
was it The
because I was
Rock?
let's
It was
check
The Rock, wasn't it?
2023 Daytona
24,
500.
wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry. Uh, drivers start
I
your entry.
swear, like, that's one of the reasons I watched it. Because I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah, it was. I think I
yeah,
streamed it in VC because it was that, and then like just kept it on, and like you kept watching a bit.
yeah, yeah. No, it's
No.
not bad. But it's another thing that I can't go down the rabbit hole of watching racing because I just got too much like thought I already watched. I can't, like, I have no money or no time. Like, it's impossible.
Just drop all the other sports you're interested in. Problem
Yeah. Oh,
solved.
yeah. Okay. Well,
I
then
mean,
I'm screwed.
if you
Ah,
watch one thing that isn't Formula One that's racing, watch the Indy 500 next Sunday. And if you're not sure what's going on, tune into Frisky Frankie's channel where I will be there in a watch along, and you can ask any technical questions you may have about what's going on.
uh,
What a plug.
Because
well, if you're there,
The Indy 500, as they say, is the greatest spectacle in racing, and that is probably an accurate marketing tagline, I think. Just the final,
mm,
like the final. I watched the final couple laps of last year again the other day, and it's just, like the word dogfight is
okay.
never more apt than fighting with someone at Indianapolis. You feel, in the sim, even you feel like you're in a fighter jet dogfight, right? Especially with the way that car has like a sort of screen on it now, so you kind of actually it looks like a jet cockpit anyway now.
All
Um,
right.
but then also you're traveling so fast, the movements are erratic and sudden because these are it's not a NASCAR where it's big and heavy. No, it's light. It's like a Formula One car, obviously in many ways. And one wrong move and or what if they zig and you zag, someone's going flying. And the margins are that tight.
Mm,
um yeah, it's yeah, there's not many things left in racing that are like feels super on the edge of safety, I guess. The Indy 500 is really that. And seeing what the drivers do and when they battle hard for the win is, yeah, it ain't F1. It will be more interesting than the Monaco Grand Prix by a long way on that Sunday.
yeah. Well, the Monaco Grand Prix is a bit like is
Yeah.
the appeal more than the actual race. Like, it's different.
I
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's cool," but
Yeah, I love that
yeah,
for what it is, and I will watch that on Sunday. But
yeah.
man, I will not be jumping out of my seat like I will when there's two to go in the 500.
Oh. Can you share us a video of yourself jumping on the seat, please?
No,
Oh, well, how will you know if you're doing it?
nah.
Nah.
Um,
His model will whip his hair back and forth.
well, we
All
probably won't
right,
have models on for
all
that,
right.
but yeah.
Whichever Smith that I can't remember what her name is.
Willow.
It's not. That's it. Yeah. All right, Willow Smith. God.
So let's move on to the other sport thing. Anyway, it might be a similar topic. Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup.
Sorry, I just had to do that in celebration.
The
I mean,
Why?
this is
Eagles
like
won the FA Cup, I should
Eagles.
say.
Well, yeah, but this is what's crazy, right? Because you've had the Eagles win the Super Bowl, and now the Eagles have won the FA Cup. So it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I mean, this is crazy because it's just like I don't even support Crystal Palace, but my everyone should know my hatred for Man City. I feel like that was my last dying wish should be that everyone in the world knows how much I hate them, because I really hate them. And like I'm so glad they haven't won anything this season. They've just awful. They've been terrible, which is brilliant. But like Crystal Palace, a team, a very unassuming team. Like they haven't won. I mean, this is their first ever like major trophy. So they've never won the Premier League. They've never won like Championship, Europa, or anything. They've lit this or any of the domestic ones. I'm not sure about Carabao, whatever, because no one cares about that. But the FA Cup is, it's quite a big one. Everyone knows what the FA Cup is. Reska probably knows what it is. Adaro definitely doesn't. But like most normal people know what the FA Cup
Yeah.
is, and it's like a big exactly big competition. Yeah, and it's one of those where it's quite fierce competition as well. You've had some really weird games going on. I mean, for one, Crystal Palace winning. If you were a betting man and you did them at the start of the season, they would have probably been something ridiculous, like 500 to 1 or something ridiculous. Like they would have been a huge price because you wouldn't expect them to win. So if you did that, then congratulations, you've probably got a lot of money. But like it's to me, it's crazy that they've won it. And I was at work. I literally had to take my break at the exact time halftime started, just so I'd have enough time to watch it because I was that desperate. Because I heard, of course, like Palace scored in like the first, I think it must have been like 20 minutes. So I was like, oh my god, I need to watch this, but I couldn't, so I had to wait till halftime to actually watch it. But like. Yeah, it's insane. Like being a Liverpool fan, I actually cheered more and was more excited for Crystal Palace, like in the last like 10 minutes of that game, than Liverpool winning the league. It's insane. I was so like hyped for it because I'm just like it's like it's that typical underdog story. Like they are so like you wouldn't think anything of them. Like you really think like it's like a small, like a really small like championship team or something beating a bigger team, League One, League Two team or whatever. And it's so impressive. And like the thing is they completely deserve it as well. Like there was controversial like red card potentially for the goalkeeper, but we ignore that. But apart from that, they actually like seriously deserve it. And it's such like I don't have necessarily much to say about it. It's just the fact that I'm just stupidly happy for the fact that a football team that I don't support has won the FA Cup. Mainly because it is against scumbag. I mean, sorry, Man City. So the biggest scumbags I mean, the biggest team in football. So you know, apart from that, but yeah, no, it's really good news. Like it's I was quite excited by it, and I thought I've got to mention it. I've got to give them just. You got to give Palace just that little bit of you've got to what's the word like congratulate them. They deserve it. They're the true deserving champions. That's all
Which
to say.
country is Crystal Palace?
Oh
Which
my
country? Oh my
god! No, wait! Hang on,
god!
hang on. They won the FA Cup. Adoro.
Yeah.
Does that help?
No, probably not.
Yes.
Which country? Oh
They play in
no.
the Premier League. Does that
Right.
help?
Yeah.
England.
The
Yeah.
England.
Wait, what place is called
Crystal
country?
Palace.
What?
It's a place in
No,
London.
then remember they're not all
Oh.
like Arsenal's not a place.
No,
Arsenal.
but I know, yeah, but I know that. I've never heard of
Manchester
Crystal
United isn't
Palace
a
unless it's
place, but
actually the Crystal Palace.
I mean, the place in London is Crystal Palace. Like, but
yeah,
but London
yeah,
has
it's like a
places called
borough.
Elephant and Castle. Like Crystal Palace
Oh,
isn't even the weirdest
even
one.
I didn't know that. But I was just so fascinated by
It's
that story and how many times the guy said the word like.
I was amazed by the amount of times he said scumbag.
I was more intrigued by the number of times he says like in a sentence.
Okay,
That's
but I
his
mean,
word. He
do
just goes
do
like,
you
or
want?
where people go
Okay.
basically like, or like this, or
Okay, so
basically
so
like.
are we gonna do this now? Because do you want me to bring up every time you say the same thing constantly? When you go like, if that makes sense, after everything, like, do we want to bring that up? Like every
Yeah.
time you repeat yourself? Exactly. So shush boy. Anyway, um, yeah, I can't believe you don't. You thought they were a country. That's ridiculous.
No, I
I
think
think
that's
it's
what
South
country they
London
were
actually.
in, but
No, he
still.
said what? Well, yeah, well, that's still just as bad.
Well, yeah, because
I
I've
mean,
never
yeah,
heard of Crystal Palace unless it's the Crystal Palace.
that is funny because we're about to talk about a topic you put in that's also about football,
Yeah,
club football.
and I know nothing about. Well,
uh,
the more intrigued
Real
story about it,
Madrid
yeah.
are gonna do tryouts in the US. Tell us more, Adaro.
I just gotten
Took a
fascinated
bit
by
longer
it
than a minute.
because a lot of people with this news have mentioned it is going to be like the Blue Lock program, which is how the tryouts were in the anime Blue Lock, which is about football, or they say soccer. But yeah, it's
Sagar.
a quite rough tryout system that Blue Lock has. and I was intrigued that they're actually going to try and implement it in an actual tryout system in this Madrid in the US
This
tryouts
Madrid.
thing. Yes.
Wait, what?
So,
US?
well, they're doing it in the hell. The funny thing is, because I read it as Madrid US, I thought it was literally a, a they were called, the US team was called Madrid because you know how much I know about actual football. But then
I
I
mean,
What about
then I read more.
geography?
Then I read more.
Crystal Palace, I could forgive you if you've never heard of it, but I mean
But the
Madrid.
place is named after the place.
They might have a
Uh,
state or a country or a town called Madrid in the
State, a
US.
I mean,
country.
there probably is a Madrid in the US. Let's
There's a
face it.
Yeah,
London in the
there,
US.
Probably more than
there's
one.
many.
Yeah. There's
There's
So
Uden
many.
as well. I mean, what the fuck is
yeah.
that?
So
Oh, that's mental.
1,250 young men aged between
Your favorite?
18 and 19, apparently. That's a weird age range, just from 1 year. Will have the opportunity to
That's when they do.
compete for a spot at the Real Madrid. The tryouts will be very intensive, Hunger Games like
Real.
and Blue Lock like in football exams. So
I mean,
yeah,
it's probably a good idea in a way because it's a good
they
way
are
to weed
taking
out.
an inspiration from an anime to do tryouts.
I mean, I'm not sure that they watched the anime and went, "Well, we're going to do
I
this now."
think there's some
I
people in
think,
the football world do know about this anime Blue Lock because they did
Well, I'm
have
well,
sure, yeah.
probably. Yeah, it's not
Kodansha
crazy.
did have a shirt made and in the UK
Yeah,
with
this is Japanese thing.
was it um which one did they do it with? It was one of the red teams.
Liverpool,
I think it was.
which is in the
I don't
UK, by
even.
the way.
I did say
It was
UK
Liverpool.
team.
It,
Blue
it
Lock
was it's definitely Liverpool.
Blue
I'm telling you, it's Liverpool.
UK.
I
It
don't
was
even
funny
remember this.
because there are Liverpool fans in our group. There's two at the time. I posted it because of that. Liverpool.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, okay. So because of Blue Lock they did it with Liverpool and that's where I saw most like about Blue Lock. But yeah, I think it is known and it's quite a popular anime. It's been 2 seasons as well. And the manga is still going. But yeah, it's that was interesting that when I first saw it they did mention Blue Lock in the name and I read more into it and yeah, it's just an intensive tryout system that they're doing and it became news and I saw it. And even though I don't much know about actual football. So if someone like me saw it, then
Foosball.
it must be big news.
Human foosball is an interesting one indeed.
Wait, what?
Mm.
Uh, don't worry. What is that even from? Is that Futurama? I don't
Sounds like
know.
Korea.
What's this? Scientists claim to have
What's this?
discovered new color no one has seen before.
Sakura.
Adaro.
What
Yeah.
the color arrow?
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I saw
Huh?
I was intrigued by this one because I have one of the rare eye colors as well, which is the gray style blue eye that I
Wait, but
have.
hang
Blue
on.
eyes. What?
This article is not about an eye color. It's about
No,
a new
but
color.
because I've just seen the picture of the eye when I first saw it, I
Okay,
thought it was about an eye, and I was
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say, I
intrigued
bet
by
you.
it because yes, it's a new color we can see, well,
Like,
kind of
no.
see, but also the fact is that I have one of the rare eye colors.
Eye is in which kind of eye?
I don't know. Oh,
I and Eddie.
yes. So
Oh,
scientists claim to have discovered a new color no
is
one
he
has
reading it
seen
again now?
before. I know. I've clicked it.
You're reading it the
If
first
you guys
time.
click it, you get to see the shade of color.
Yeah, but is that's like okay? It says yeah, that's the closest to it. Like
Yes.
obviously, in theory, a computer screen can't produce this, right? Because it's
Yes.
never
No.
been seen before. Otherwise, we would have seen it. I mean, computer screen can't produce all colors anyway. But the thing is, it's going to be so close to colors that do exist that like,
Yeah. Also has
does
to.
it
Yeah.
even matter?
If obviously the people
Although
who can't see it, it is kind of like a teal color, but a different teal shade that we can't see,
Just
but
a
it's
shade of
there.
teal. Yeah.
well, like, what do we see when we look at it? Just white, like, or just a
Well, I
teal
don't
that's
know. Yeah.
different? Like, what do we
Is it
I
see?
don't know, but they're talking about they can see it with lasers and stuff.
colorless?
So, well, it's weird because our spectrum we have obviously because of our icons, we can't see a lot of. Apparently, there's colors out there we can't see because of the icons in our
There's
eyes.
hundreds of them.
The
Sea
ones,
urchins apparently can see
the ones that
like
can
for hundreds
see
of thousands.
lots of color spectrum is. Oh, Rescue's been raided.
Ah, fraps. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. We are doing the WWAS
Right.
podcast, Tacky Toaster Trade Club, episode 4, talking about a new color that we can't see as humans, which is a bit odd. But welcome in. I hope you were enjoying San Francisco Rush 2049. I actually gotta admit, I have no idea what that is.
Is that game, is it? Or is that what is that?
Well, it must be a game. I've genuinely never heard of it. So, but so yeah, let us know how that was
49ers.
and what that is. But welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Where were you, by the way?
Right. Yeah. New color discovered. It to us at the moment. It's like a slight teal shade, but it was research they would do. The US were doing into color blindness. That's how they actually discovered it because they did it with They had laser pulses fired into people's eyes, which then created. So, by simulating effect specific cell in the retina, the participants claim to have witnessed a blue-green color that scientists have called OLO, OLO. By some experts have said the existence of the new color is open to argument. So, as they were doing tests for color blindness, patients said they saw a certain color and described it, and apparently it may or may not be a new color been discovered that we can see it with lasers being shot into our eyes. And that's been the debate so far at the moment to do with this new color. And then when I was looking more into it, obviously I was talking about like the cones in our
Just now.
eyes. Huh? No, when I
Okay.
first put the link in the thing, I did read it. It was like 2 in the morning. Ah, but I did notice then the animal that can see more colors than us is the praying mantis shrimp, and they're very colorful themselves as well. But apparently, they can see way more colors than we can, like a lot more, and cows too.
But guys, how can we see if our eyes aren't
I
real?
was thinking that the entire
You
time.
said that
I can't
you
remember what the quote was. I couldn't remember the exact quote, but
Wait,
I was literally thinking that.
you
I
said
always
that,
have that one
Jaden
ready to go.
Smith.
Rescue. You said that whilst your eyes were closed.
It's because my eyes aren't real.
Yeah, they're not real.
Yeah, exactly.
They keep closing with your mouth open when you're so happy about something. I think
I'm
you're happy about
sorry.
Well,
color.
that's because he's expressing joy.
Let him enjoy the colors of the rainbow.
Honestly, just leave him alone, man. Leave him alone.
No, I
What have
keep
we got
saying.
here then? We have additions or changes to the PlayStation Plus game catalog.
Oh,
Guy.
Oh, these are the what want to bring it down. I want to bring the tone down quite a bit here. I'm not happy with these games.
I mean, I'm just looking at this properly for the first time, and yeah.
These are the like not the essentials, like the premium tier and the
Yeah.
whatever the hell the other one's called. I don't know. But I'm just like, I mean, people in the comments were like, "Oh, this is like fantastic," and I was like, "Okay,
I
it
mean,
doesn't really look that good.
Soul
It's like
Hackers looks alright.
Stalker, Sandland. Well, that might be alright. Maybe I might try that because that is a thingy Atlas release.
Atlas.
So I may try that.
it's
But Five Nights at
Atlas.
Freddy's, don't care. Battlefield, don't care. What was the other thing I don't care about? Oh, and the thing that annoys me the
Sandland.
most is, yeah, that I really don't care about that. Annoys me the most is the whole classic catalog. One of the things I was desperate for, like PS1 games, like what is it? Oh, Battle Engine Qualia or something? I never even heard of it. Apparently a PS1 game. Like why are we not getting normal PS1 games? Why are we not getting the ones from our childhood that we actually played? They're just weird, like, and it's the same with the PS2. They bring out these really obscure
Mm,
ones that people probably don't give a shit about.
We're
They're
just
just
getting
there because they're probably cheap.
other people's childhood's memories instead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not even because you wouldn't play it as a child because you probably if you probably find this game, you're probably lucky. It's like a rare game. Like I've never heard of it. I mean, I know a lot about games. I do not know what this is at all. And I always watch it. I'm always like, okay, well, if there's at least one or two games that I want to play, then I feel like, well, okay, I'll play them and money well spent, I guess. But there's nothing in this. There's literally nothing I even want to play here. Soul Hackers 2 would be the only one I want to simply try. Everything else is shit. I couldn't give a toss about anything else. Last month, I'm actually looking at right now, like EA Sports PGA Tour. Like, okay, great, I could play that. That's golf. Most people don't care about that. But then you have also Blueprints, which Adro is probably going to go crazy for. Like one of the biggest games of the year on Metacritic. It's like second highest of the year now. That came out the first day on Premium. Like it was a release game on Premium. That's cool. That's like what Xbox did, what Microsoft are doing with the Game Pass. Why have PlayStation now gone, oh well, let's just this game would do. Oh, this game's like Battlefield 5. When did Battlefield 5 come out? That was years ago. That was probably that was a
2005.
PS4 game, wasn't it? Yeah, probably. It was a PS4 game that was like, come on, man, like give us some new stuff. Like, please give me something. Give me something to keep the actual damn subscription alive. It's because Microsoft have become so like on their back with everything. They don't really care anymore. Game Pass is still pretty strong, but they're not in the game market. It's a shame, but it is the way it is. We will be getting Halo on here pretty soon. Gears of War
Yeah, I
soon as
can't wait for
well.
that.
It will be pretty cool. I do really want to play Reach again.
I'll be
Like
streaming
just
a lot
play
of Halo if that's the case because I
Well,
can run it.
talking of old WAS streams, should we do the Reach campaign co-op again?
No. I think I did like
Damn.
one of those. I think I may have done. Did I
I'm
do
not
an
sure you did
episode of
any
that?
of
We
them.
played
I
it.
don't think
I
Wait,
feel
so.
like I
did we
did the
just
first.
play it all the way through? I think Guy joined us here and there. It was just me and you
I
and
think I did the
Hotshot.
first one, and I don't think I
Really?
did any of
Maybe.
the others. I remember playing through the campaign. That must have been. Well, I don't know why I would have done it otherwise. It was definitely with other people. It must have been you guys. I
Well,
don't
I'll
know.
be up for
I
playing
mean,
Halo Reach again.
I will be trying to get the platinum, so that is that
But
is a,
which
that is a
Halo are they gonna
point.
bring out? Are they just gonna bring out the Master Chief Edition?
It'll be the Master Chief, yeah, yeah, it will be. It'll be if you look now, there's Forza Horizon 5s now on the store, like to
Yeah,
buy like right now. Like
Yeah,
you
I
can go
know.
it's
play that.
crazy.
I kept wanting to buy it, but it's just the price, and I can't even get a physical copy of it either.
Yeah, I'm not. I did actually enjoy it on Xbox, but
Well,
not enough to
you
pay
guys
55.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed no roads when I was playing
The
it.
way you're going, you don't need roads.
I need the
Exactly.
sky on the floor.
Always talking this guy. But yeah, I think the issue with it all coming on here though is it has just given PlayStation all the power, apart from Nintendo. But I mean,
They don't
Nintendo
barely
having some of
compete,
them, aren't
right?
they?
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Are they gonna compete with Switch 2? Probably not. Probably not.
they're such
Be
different
huge.
things, really.
They are, yeah. Which is a good thing in a way. But it now means PlayStation slash Sony own everything, can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
So.
that's the thing. Like with Switch and PlayStation being in their own lane, kind of, they're
Yeah.
both now. I mean, look at what Nintendo is doing in their position. Sony can do that too in their position.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like PC gaming is like PC gaming keeps going up in price anyway. So like, as long as Sony continues to undercut that, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because it's cheaper
Oh,
to
wait.
buy a console than a whole PC setup to play the same game.
I know, but then what I'm saying is they can just make the console more expensive if there's no
Yeah.
competition. It
Yeah,
would still
they
be
they
cheaper than
have.
a PC,
Yeah.
but they no longer have to compete with Xbox's pricing. They only have to compete with the PC pricing.
Yeah.
So, and that's why like the Switch 2 is so much more expensive because there's no competition in that
No.
market because it's kind of a different audience for the Switch compared to the PlayStation, really.
Yeah,
So
definitely. It's aimed at younger
Indeed.
people, and it is worrying when one company is going to be on top. Have you heard though? I mean, I'm not even sure this has ever been posted. I'm not even sure it's even true that it's sort of under the cover, but Valve are apparently making a home console. Like that is supposed to be happening at some point.
see,
But
what
is it just smoke
is
and
it a
mirrors? Who
Steam
knows?
box though?
I don't know. It's not
Because
like yeah, it's not like the streaming or from the computer. Is it like
no, no,
its
no, no,
own
no.
thing?
But what I mean is it running Steam OS?
Oh, I have no
Because
idea.
like remember they've done like remember I know this the Steam Deck is the big thing that the Steam OS is used for now, but originally they called them Steam boxes, and the idea was that you know it would essentially be a sort of PC in the style of a console. Make a home console. Well, if they're just going to put Steam OS on a console, I don't think that works.
I'm not sure it is going to be like that.
Like, that's a
As
pretty
far
good
as
product, like to have,
yeah,
but I don't think it competes with the PS5 or six, whatever.
no, I don't. Well, yeah, I mean, God knows what's going with the PS6. Like Jesus,
I think that
what
I've
that? How
heard
much
that
that's going to cost?
an Xbox one's being made, and it's made by
An
Alienware.
Xbox One was made ages ago, Arrow. We
No,
got
an
that when the
Xbox
PS4 came
handheld.
out.
See,
Well,
I'm not
once
sure I
again, it's
believe
like
that when it feels like
no.
Xbox aren't going to even make another home console. Like,
Exactly, they've given up on the console wars. Like, why would they? That now just looks like they're like, oh, we'll go against Nintendo next. Okay, good idea. Like, yeah, that you'll definitely lose that fight. Lost
But
to
they're well, any if the
Sony. So.
companies there are trying, they are just making the handheld. They're not trying to make the Switch where it becomes a handheld or a docking
Yeah, but it is
console.
still a handheld console, though.
I know.
So you've got to. You're competing with it. It's like if they do anything now, it's you're competing with the Steam Deck or the Lenovo, whatever it's called, or the other one I can't remember. Like they're all the same sort of thing that you're going to be competing against. I know that Sony, PlayStation are actually looking to do something else like another Vita, but then is that going to happen? It's just all conjecture at the
I,
moment. We don't
I don't
actually
see
know.
it. I don't really see it.
I
No,
loved my
I mean I'd
Vita.
love it, but yeah, the Vita's just not. It was too much. It was too gimmicky.
They
It
just
needed the
didn't make enough
PSP was
games for it.
fantastic. The PSP, yeah, but that's because it was too gimmicky and it was too much to ask people to do it. But like the PSP was fantastic. Fantastic the PSP was. Like what a
You could
great
watch the
console it was.
Simpsons movie on it.
And Bender's Big Score, which
I
is the only
watched the
thing holding
Amazing
it together.
Spider-Man on my Vita because it came with it.
Eater.
Leave me
But
alone with my Vita.
yeah,
Whose
it's a
Vita?
shame. It's a real shame that it's gonna go the way of a PlayStation exclusive consoles. Like, I mean, if a PS6 comes out and no competitors, we are screwed. We won't be able to buy them because they'll be like 600-700 quid by then,
And then the
and they'll also
scalpers.
be out of stock. Yeah, and they'll be out of stock straight away because they won't make enough of them. I do think that there is a reason. Like, if you haven't got a PC like myself, there's a reason to go from the PS4 to the PS5. However, if you've got a PC, you don't necessarily need to go to a PS5 from a PS4.
I got both.
It's just, well, yeah, so do I. But the difference is, like, at the end of the day, that yeah, but you haven't got a good enough PC to do most of the stuff that if you had a good, like, a real good PC, you wouldn't need to borrow a PS5.
I'm streaming all
It's
services, but yeah.
If you're not playing a game.
exactly.
No,
Yeah, he can't do
I'm
it.
not playing a game, but I'm staring at you guys on on one monitor and then staring at the next thing on my other one because I've blown up the picture. But yeah, yeah.
Okay, dude.
Lol. But yeah, I don't know if I want to buy another console next time around. You
It's
know,
a tricky one.
If
It
there's
depends what they do.
if it's like a game that's like if the games then become exclusive to that console, then that might make people buy that new console. But yeah, I can't see myself buying the six if it comes out. But if
It
I
would
can get
depend what
hold
was
of
on
a
it.
Switch 2 at some point, I will buy a Switch 2 because I have the like um first ever Switch, not the new battery one, not the
First,
OLED, not the OLED one or any of the other ones. I have literally the day one old
Oh, yeah, so do I.
Switch. So I will need to upgrade that one if I will. If I do, I'll get the second one. That's what I was holding out for more than anything. That's why I didn't buy the OLED one when it came out.
You were very
Yeah,
tempted
but
there.
I was tempted. I
yeah,
pre-ordered it and everything, and then I cancelled it.
the
I
Switch
think you
2
see, you
though.
see now why it would have been pointless because you probably barely played your Switch since then,
Yeah,
have you? Like,
No,
and now you
every
could get
day
no,
Switch Sports, my
every.
daily
Oh yeah,
exercise.
okay, yeah, but then that's like
sports.
docked anyway, right? So, like,
That's true.
that's the
You're
same on
literally
every
playing it
Switch
on a.
anyway.
Yeah, you're not really
I played a few
using
It's
games
it.
no
off the
different.
dock, but if I'm not literally going anywhere, or if I'm just gonna go downstairs, I will take it out of the dock. But if not,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
but
docked.
like, you see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
buying the OLED is like kind of not
Yeah,
worth it
it's
unless
pointless.
you're literally on all the time. In handheld, but yeah.
I mean, I actually don't. I could probably count how many times I've played my Switch docked, which is like 12. I think every other time it's handheld. I just didn't really care. I didn't need the docked version of it. It's so much better as a handheld console. Like just don't need it. I
Well,
should have got an OLED
if
one,
I
but
like the concept of having handheld if I'm going somewhere or somewhere out of my room, like
which doesn't happen.
to the
So
point to the point where at one point when the Vita was a thing, I was
here,
trying to find, which was a rare thing to find, was the PS TV or something where you could put your Vita cartridges into it and you can have it on the TV.
yeah.
I did consider that at one point, and then the Switch came out, and I was like, oh, I'll just get this. And then I bought
No,
all
it's
the other,
too
then I bought all my
much.
Vita games on the Switch, the ones that did come out for the Switch.
Exactly. It's a shame, but no trophies, so pointless playing them really.
Yes, yes, you and your
We
trophies.
only play stuff for trophies.
I
I
have
need
the
to
platinum
still,
trophy for Knockout City, which you don't. Haha.
yeah, but I also have many other platinum trophies. So yeah,
Couch
91 to be exact.
potato. I have 12.
Oh come on, says the biggest couch potato in existence.
Hey, I was
But anyway,
outside building things.
And that
that's
segues into
Minecraft,
our
mate.
next topic. What is building project and an empty room picture arrow?
Oh, I've got the next thing up for another game thing, but okay, I'll move on.
What? Stop jumping
I mean, we
ahead,
we are
man.
moving some of these things to next week at this point. So,
Exactly.
building project. Since you said building.
Oh no, I'll save the building project for next week. I'll save the thing I actually had.
Okay then, Persona 5: The Phantom X, which looks like a
Slap
much less
him.
interesting topic, by the way.
Well, then I can then
Yeah.
tell.
Tell
Then
us
I could
about
tell the
this.
one
Tell
underneath
us
it.
about this mobile gacha game you've posted in here.
Stuff.
Right.
Is that actually what it is? I didn't even
I
look.
mean,
Wait a
look,
I didn't
is
minute.
it?
even look.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it a couple of days ago? I posted to you guys that Atlas was going to announce something, and
Yep.
everyone was getting excited, and I was like, "Oh, what could it be?"
Were they?
Yeah, I literally put it in our Discord saying,
Well,
"Guy, look at
yeah. I mean,
this."
the thing is, it could be nothing, and it appears to have been
It's
nothing.
usually
But
nothing. Yeah.
Well,
tell
this
us if
looks
you think
interesting
differently.
because I wanted to play it. It looked cool when
Or
it was out
gotcha.
in Japan. Yes, PS, but Persona
Yes.
5 is coming out with
British.
another game, and it's called Persona 5: The Phantom X, which is I think it's same. It's obviously same area and all that. It's just other characters. And yes, it was a mobile game, but it's coming. But you can play it. It's coming
It's
to the
coming.
West with obviously Japanese
It's
audio and English and Japanese text on Apple devices,
What's that?
Google Play games as well, or Play on the PC, and Steam. So
Ooh.
it's another installment to Persona 5. I will look into it when it comes out. I might stream it as well because I can get the Steam version, because it'll be a bit more easier to stream that way instead of the Apple version. But yeah, it's like a cool mobile game of Persona 5.
But is it cool or is
Yeah.
it a mobile game? Because
It's
those two
not cool.
usually don't overlap.
Unless
Well,
it's Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go is
Like
a mobile game, and I like that.
I said usually, but is this an AR walking around outside game then? Is that what that is, or is it
I
not?
saw
It's
some
not.
walking
It's not
around. I
that.
didn't
No.
see like you
There's some
can.
people playing it
I didn't think
probably.
it's
Like
just
in
like
real
you're stuck in
life,
one
walking
place.
around in real life,
Oh no.
like Pokemon Go, because you were comparing it to Pokemon Go. So
Yeah, but I'm saying Pokemon Go is also a phone game, and I play both.
yeah, okay, but I look.
Hey, I play
How
Pokemon Go from my bedroom. I don't go
But this isn't
outside.
like Pokemon. But this has
That's
nothing to do
not the
with
way to
Pokemon
play
Go.
it.
This has
You're playing
nothing to
it
do with
wrong.
Pokemon Go anyway, right? As far as I'm aware,
But
this is
it's not
just a
like
phone
Raid
game,
Shadow
right?
Legends or any of those games. It looks a little bit different than
It,
any of those games.
well, and it has Persona's art style.
Raid Shadow
Like I don't know,
Legends.
what sort of gameplay is it? Like what is the actual
I will
game?
have to have a look at it when
You
in
don't
more
Oh,
even
detail.
know,
I
alright,
just came up. I just
mate.
found out the announcement, and I was
you
sharing the announcement.
No,
June
I just
26th
want
is
to.
coming out.
I want to just like warn you to not get your hopes up because it might be a crappy mobile game. Like I'm just saying,
It might
it has
be,
all the
but it was
signs of it being
Persona, and
one,
it
being that
caught
it's
me
a phone
excited.
game. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, but that's the thing they're trying to do. It's like, oh, here's a cheap
Yeah,
ass phone game to make a quick buck. Like that's why I don't like it, or like the idea of it. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's good. Maybe the story's interesting. Maybe it's got good art and music and whatnot.
it
I
won't
don't
be.
know.
It won't be.
But I don't know.
Won't be.
I see the App Store and Google Play logos and I tune out. Like,
I'll be able to earn money playing it at some point. That's when you know it's bad. So
Well, I
on
like the
your weird
concept
app.
of the new characters and the new persona that's behind the characters. So I will look into it
Well,
in
that's
more
the thing, though.
depth.
It's not even the actual characters.
yeah,
It's
that's what's
like
weird.
I just
Because
said it's
Persona
set in the
5
same
still.
place, but it's other people who
I
have
That's
know,
similar
weird.
but
powers.
what I'm saying is that's a reason why it's bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if it had all the characters and it was like tied into the proper story, that's more interesting. This, yeah, it's the same setting, but it seems to have nothing to do with the same people. I guess maybe it does. Who knows? But like, it's completely like if it didn't have the Persona logo on it, would you be interested? Probably not. Like, I don't know.
Well, if it's
It
coming to
might be.
Steam, it must be like a decent kind of game to
Oh
begin
no,
with.
no,
That
it
doesn't
means
mean anything.
nothing.
Because
It's a port of a phone game because it was originally a phone game. It's a
yeah, but
port
that's what
to
I'm saying. If
PC.
it's yeah, but a phone game would normally just stay on the phone. I've never seen Steam get hold of
No,
a phone game.
no.
It's obviously that's happened before. Like it definitely has.
I don't
Well,
know what you want about, man.
I will look into it more, and if it is decent, I will stream it because I like Persona.
Okay.
Okay.
I still need to
Okay.
finish Persona 3 anyway.
Do we want to cover anything else today, or maybe ask a question? We have been
Yeah, I
going
get
2 hours.
questions.
Should we do a question maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll skip Cobb's weird one.
Right.
We're not doing that. However, Ozzy has a question who was in chat earlier. If Ozzy's still here, I'm going to answer your question. As a Brazilian, I have to say this. They say, will you guys come to Brazil?
No,
Never. I would actually like to go to Brazil.
no.
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's stuff to see in Brazil, like for sure.
like
You know,
Brazilians.
I think
Mm.
I think of the obviously the Grand Prix into Lagos. That's a fantastic racetrack. That would be a great place to see a Grand Prix. But even then,
Mm.
there's like amazing cities and sites in Brazil as well. So
Yeah,
maybe one day.
yeah.
Can't say I have any plans, but
It's on the list somewhere. Just probably on the next list.
Aaron's first got to get out of the house first before he figures out, going on a plane and everything. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like I've never been on
I'm
them
more
before.
likely.
baby steps.
I'm more likely, first of all, to meet the group of Brazilian racing VTubers that is out there. I remember Gabriel HDX saying that them and S2 Saito and Nimbus were considering something like going to the 24 hours of the Nordschleife, going over to Europe to watch big races. I don't know if
Cool.
that would tie up with anything I'm doing, but yeah, maybe I'll see the Brazilian racing VTubers over in Europe at some point. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah. No, it's to be honest, like I would happily go anywhere. Like depending on
Anywhere.
what's
Where you go to
yeah, I was
Mars.
depending on what
Even
yeah,
Adaro's
everything.
house.
No, I don't want to go there. No,
Yeah, I
that's
thought so.
Hey, you've
Yeah.
been in
that's
there.
the
You've
only
been wedged by a
place.
giant table.
The
Exactly.
what?
That sounds horrendous. That sounds disgusting. That was awful.
Where
That,
everyone
that
was
sounds
complimenting
awful.
how buff you were. And was surprised that
Yeah,
you
but
looked like your VTuber.
well, I don't really. Uh, Still, yeah, I'd happily go most places. Apart from Idaho's house, like any other country, like Crystal Palace would be one I'd go to. That's somewhere I've been thinking about. But apart from
Fuck's
that,
sake.
yeah,
in the desert.
Gonna go see the
Yeah, I would.
Eagles. Crystal Palace is in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
It's in
yeah. Well, yeah, it's
Pennsylvania.
Eagles, isn't it? So makes sense. Makes sense, please. Yeah, I've done a lot of
I might
traveling,
get
so
it confused with a fictional Crystal Palace then.
well,
I mean,
probably.
it's
I don't
very
know
real.
what you think.
There used to be motor racing at Crystal Palace. I think Formula 3
Isn't there
raced on
like
the
an
Crystal Palace street
actual
circuit.
Eastern settlement called that has a Crystal Palace?
You
Or am
might be
I
What are you
thinking of
thinking
trying to think of?
fantasy?
you're probably thinking of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, what are you
No,
actually thinking of? I have no
no.
idea what you're
There's literally
thinking of.
somewhere either real or non-real that I'm getting confused
Probably not real.
with that has a Crystal Palace, and it's called the Crystal Palace. So I don't know. It might be fictional or not.
It might be Crystal
Why don't you look it
Palace.
up? It could just be the football team. Crystal Palace. Yeah, Crystal Palace.
I
Crystal
can't
Palace,
even
yeah.
spell
Crystal
palace.
Palace. Yeah. I can't even spell
Well, the
the.
first thing I type in, it comes up with the London one.
Well, obviously,
Well, yeah, Crystal
that's
Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Yeah. Well, the Charlie for chocolate.
Crystal Palace during the Great Expedition 1851. Remembering Crystal Palace fire of 1936.
No, I don't remember that.
Crystal Palace Museum? No.
Oh, hold on. We better.
I can't
We,
find
we
any
better.
of the Crystal Palace that I think I'm
We're gonna go
thinking
to
of.
the Adro reading just general topics. Like this is what he does in VC as usual.
Everyone loves it. Um, I
Just
guess
starts
we'll
reading
I guess
Facebook.
we'll raid someone then.
No.
Anyone in
Raid.
particular, Rescue? If not, I might have
I think you
someone.
knew. Oh, I bet I know who you're
Um, I don't have anyone strongly obvious that I should raid. Who do you suggest?
Good. I want to raid someone who's going to play a game we talked about in last podcast, which Guy
the
was
I
last of
know
looking
us.
who it
forward to, which
is.
is Expedition 33.
You're
Oh,
struggling with the numbers.
oh,
Yeah, no,
it
I
is
do want to
though.
play that.
Is it Walt?
Yes, Walt Kong. Yes,
I really want to
the
play that.
angry Scottish monkey.
Oh, Scottish.
Yes, we'll raid them because they're playing
All right.
Expedition 33, which is a game looked interesting.
You got any
Yeah, no, it
plans you
does.
want to announce, or either of you, I suppose, for the week?
No,
Um,
no, I'll be doing absolutely nothing.
will you?
Yeah.
Surely me and you will do a stream when Reska's not here.
Nope.
Well,
You're too
I'll,
angry.
I'll drag him
You need
in
to
at
calm
some
down.
point. We'll probably do a duo
How to
stream at
train your
some point
dragon.
when you're gone, Reska, and I'll
And when
stream
I'm
as
gone,
well.
just carry on, no harm, rejoice. Every time you hear the sound of my
The
voice,
sound of
just
my
know
voice, just know that I'm
that.
looking down on your smile.
I may or may not be allowed to stream on Thursday, but if so, keep an eye out on my
You may
socials.
not be allowed.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the collab I've been invited to is an off-stream
Oh, I see.
Oh
session,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
obviously
I forgot
I
about
want to double check if I
that.
can
This
stream it.
Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking next Thursday, though,
No,
right?
in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, well, I'm
Oh, I
away.
see. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
confused.
like yeah,
Okay. I thought you were talking about the next WAS stream. I was like,
yeah.
what?
That will yeah. No, that will be our next stream, presumably. If there's
Yeah.
nothing before. Although I will be on Frisky Frankie's channel, Frisky_Frankie on Twitch on Sunday, watching the Indy 500 with Frisky Frankie and a few others such as Jordan Brunch, Lithium Fox, and DD50,
I never really said.
and Edero Yose,
Who?
and Guy Chor the Champ,
Okay.
and Hot Shot Valara.
I'm
No, no,
starting my
no,
raid
just
now before
stop.
Reska goes on a tangent.
I will start too.
They've just
Are we
started as
doing it? Are
well.
you doing an outro or?
Yes, the outro is
Don't say to me.
uh
Good outro. Good outro.
bye.
Bye.
Tally ho.
Thanks for watching.
Welcome the
Look
next
at
time.
these.
I'm confused. Bye.